Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to NS Sports TV. This is episode 12 of the Football for Thought podcast. Today, I'm joined by Chris, known on Twitter as Gunner King 14. You can also find him on the Terrace, and you can also find him on
the Armory
TV. And I believe you're a co-host on that.
I am, yes. Yeah. One of the,
and below me is a regular on this podcast, Niall Kane. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How about
you? So Chris, this is your first time on my channel and the first time on my podcast. How do you feel everything went for your team today? That's what I ask everyone.
Today, well, obviously we haven't played today, Arsenal. We play tomorrow. Probably could have had better results from the Tottenham and the West Ham game. I don't believe West Ham are out of this race either. But Tottenham especially, seeing them perform the way that they did, clearly shows that whilst they've struggled for consistency this season, they seem to be finding it at the right time. So, I wouldn't say a worry, but I think definitely of the teams that are chasing the fourth spot that we're in, well, they're in fourth now. So you'd have to consider them the biggest threat at the moment. So they laid down a marker today, which I have to give them credit for. And it's over to us tomorrow now to do something about that. So today could have gone better, but obviously yesterday results swung in our favour. Don't know if we'll catch Chelsea, but obviously seeing them drop points, the possibility of being able to go 2 points behind them is good. And obviously United were only able to get a draw against Leicester as well. So a bit more favourable yesterday. I guess a bit of this smooth with the rough, because today results didn't quite go in our favour. But I can't really complain, really, in terms of how this weekend went overall.
Back up, worker.
Yeah, you know what? Big up, man. Big up. Hope everyone's good, man. But what I think over the weekends, right, coming me from an Arsenal fan, right, like seeing Spurs winning 5-1, look, okay, yeah, fair enough. They were going to beat Newcastle because Newcastle were trash. And for me, Man United drawing 1-1 yesterday. I'll start off with Manchester United drawing 1-1. I was very surprised that they dropped points against Leicester. Leicester's second goal was definitely offside.
I can't think it was. I thought the goal should have did quite the bar thing. That's what I'm talking about.
No, because Ian Nacho touched Varane's leg.
Oh, right, okay.
So
looked soft to me, but
yeah, it was a very soft foul. Leicester, in my opinion, Leicester were robbed.
I was in the pub and I'd had a few drinks, so I already had my beer goggles on. So I've not watched it back since, but it did look soft from where I was sitting.
Newcastle ain't trash.
Evening, Stephen. Evening, Luca.
Hello, mate. How are you? I'm good.
Steven.
But no, as I was saying, right, Newcastle, getting back to Manchester United, Leicester. I thought Leicester should have won the game yesterday, but the goal obviously shouldn't have counted, which it didn't count. But Leicester were the better team than Manchester United. I've never seen a poor Manchester United side play like that yesterday. And I'm the one who actually said that I could still think that they've got a good chance of getting top four.
I've told you this.
The way they play,
Man United are not getting top four. It's going to be and Tottenham to fight it out for that fourth place.
No, I'm starting to feel like if they keep performing like that,
Not gonna get it,
they ain't going to get Champions League football like that.
Luca, we've been telling you for ages. They've been performing like that for fucking months.
Well, I hope they do. I hope they do like that.
No, they've been playing shit for that all season.
But now, are you more worried about?
Sudden, what's happened? It didn't just suddenly happen.
The thing is, though, historically, though, United do have a record of turning it on towards the end of the season. If you look at not last season, the season before, they were miles away from Leicester. I think that was when they bought Bruno, and they managed to chase them down, beat Leicester on the last game of the season, nick the top 4 spot.
Yeah,
they're not a team. They're not a team you can ever turn your back on.
Hang on,
Like,
look at the shambles.
they've got a history of just pulling stuff out of the bag, you know.
But the thing is, like, if you look
Sorry, I'm rearranging the screens a little. I'm doing it in alphabetical order of which club you support, and in alphabetical order of the names as well. So I'm sorry about.
Anyway, with Man United, the difference back then, they ain't got players leaking stuff to the press. They ain't got half the squad wants to leave, right? Then half the board doesn't want to listen to the frigging manager, right? The manager doesn't even probably want to be there, right? And they don't know which manager they're going to get. And plus also, they thinned out the squad.
They're getting Eric Ten Hag.
Put that in a massive cauldron, and what you get is the shit that Man United are. Sorry, no.
Mate, the way they played yesterday, right? Look, the way they played. The way they played.
You're surprised, Luca. They've been.
No, I am surprised. People may call me deluded or whatever they can. That's fine, but I'm very
surprised. It's been like that for ages.
Yeah, but as we're saying, you know, like you can never, you know, the whole phrase "Fergie time," right? That's how far back it goes. United have a history of just pulling irons out of the fire, like when it seems,
and this is what Man United fans don't realise.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like you can never ever discredit
Luca
what is possible with that club. Like they've literally won a treble, like when nothing, like they were dead and buried in that game. Like,
hang on, you're saying Man United fans don't get. Well, Man United do you know what Man United fans are getting right now, right? They're getting the sort of shit that's going on at Man United Football Club right now, and why their team's in the gutter. Right? They know exactly what's going on with their club. It's a bit like how I pretty much know a fair bit of what's going on with their club, right? And that is why you're seeing what you're seeing on the pitch. That is not a
players
team
don't want to play for the players. It's not just. No, it's not just players.
Yeah,
but Stephen, look,
it's not. No. Hang on a minute. It's not just players not playing for a manager. Right? The players are reflecting what is going on at the club. The club's got no ambition. The club doesn't want to go forward. It doesn't know what it wants. It doesn't know. It wants to keep making sure it makes its money every year. Right, so the players are just a reflection of what the club's doing. You put all that together, right? Then you're gonna get what you're getting with Man United right now. And I've been saying it for frigging ages. Right?
Gary Neville said yesterday, right?
I would have been so confident about Man United finishing fourth if it was any other time in the league. But the way Man United are right now, which is what I've been saying for months, they're never getting it because of the way they are.
I wouldn't say that they'll never get it. They could get it next season.
Because this season. I didn't say next season.
Possibly maybe this season, but I'm not ruling it out. But the way they did play yesterday, right, doesn't look like they're not going to get it. But what Gary Neville said yesterday, right, is exactly what you said, Stephen. He said yesterday that if Manchester United, right, they can buy 4 or 5 world-class players because they can actually attract, because Manchester United are the biggest club in England, right? But they still wouldn't go anywhere with the Glazers in charge. If the Glazers leave, right, Manchester United will go somewhere, right? And will become that club again, what they were 10 years ago. When Sir Alex Ferguson and, I can't remember the other guy, someone else was with Sir Alex Ferguson, right?
They are not becoming that team that they were.
Louis Van Gaal, or are you talking about Derek Moyes?
No, there was something to do with a direct. I can't remember some one of the board members. I can't remember his name, but he was with Sir Alex Ferguson.
David Gill was the guy that was with.
What he said, Gill, yeah, and it was him and Sir Alex Ferguson, right? Gill, that's it, right? Mm-hmm. When those two are in charge,
that's the one.
Gill, whatever it is, but when Manchester United had them two, right, United were looking good. right? Ever since those two left, United have gone downhill. They've had all these managers like David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, United chasing for top four. Mourinho came in, won the Europa League.
Jose Mourinho
got second place. Mate, United wanted first spot. Second place to them isn't a good season for that in that season. But what I will say is, United, if they keep keeping the Glazers, right? Like, don't get me wrong, Ralph Ragnick, right? He's better as a director, right? He's not good enough at Manchester United, okay? And for me, people thought, yeah, he's a good manager, right? But even Reece said it as well. He thought he was a good manager. But yes, what he achieved in Bundesliga and all that, yeah, but that's German league, yeah? You have to come to the Premier League and see what you can achieve.
Hang on a minute. Don't rule out this Bundesliga like it's a done nothing tournament. Don't. So tell you for why. Where did fucking Wenger come from when he joined Arsenal?
Wenger managed in
Japan.
So if you're writing off the Bundesliga saying you've got to do it in the Premier League first, right? Do we just write off frigging Wenger when he turned up? No.
But this is back in the day, mate. This is back in the day, mate.
No. This destroys this. I hate this Premier League. Do you know what? This whole Premier League experience thing, I was listening to like a few podcasts and it makes sense, right? Even look, Alex Ferguson came from the Scottish League, and then came and destroyed.
British Isles. They still say it's British Isles.
But look,
yeah, and I think like, look.
What I'm saying is that how many managers?
Let Chris speak.
I was going to say with carry on. Sorry.
So I was just going to say is that look how many managers have come from other leagues with no experience. Pep had no experience. Klopp had no experience. Right? Tuchel had no experience. Right? And all three of them are sitting at the top three of the table. Right? Same with Alex Ferguson when he came in. Same with Wenger. Within 2 seasons, won us a double.
Yeah,
right?
but
so this whole crap that you need Premier League experience is
no. But I think what Lucas was trying to say is that, like, I think where Man United were, I think Ragnick in the previous 2 years that he's worked, he hasn't even been working as a manager. You know what I mean?
No,
like he's been mostly working in technical direction. You know, like it's been a long time since he's actually managed a club. He is a good manager, but what people need to accept as a reality is we're no longer in an age where you can build a competitive squad quickly. You know, like Chelsea's squad took time to build. You know, yeah, okay, they brought in a lot of players after a 2-year transfer ban, but some of the players that are there, like the core, Kante, Rudiger, these lot were there before then. You know, like, so I think when you look at Liverpool and how long it took them to build a squad that is competitive, it takes time. Like, I think the biggest thing about the culture at Man United is when you've been as successful as you were under Alex Ferguson, you expect overnight results. Yeah, like, you know, you expect a manager to come in and just straight away hit the ground running and do things. And that's not how it works. Like, you need to implement a system. You need to implement a style of play. You need to implement an ethos. You need to adapt and change, like, the culture to your methods. You need to work on the training. You need to work on identifying players. But with Man United, I think what you're seeing is, for a long time, you go back to, like, when they bought Memphis Depay, when they bought Zaha, when they bought Wan-Bissaka. None of these players have worked out, and they spent vast amounts of money on them. So what that shows is, actually, for a long time, their recruitment process has been in tatters. You know, so a manager can only come in and influence so much. You know, like, they're not. When Lucas spoke about David Hill and Alex Ferguson, back then it would be those two doing everything: contract renewals, buying, like, transfer targets.
Obviously, I mean, football's
evolved now, like, where you have a
football's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger. Its economy's a lot bigger. So
you have a committee of different people that do.
But that's why.
You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing is,
Ragnick couldn't come in and change that straight away. Like, that's what we need to be clear on.
I'm not expecting it to, but with the squad that they've got, right? We all said at the start of the season, apart from the DM, that squad should be pushing towards the top of the league.
But
at
you
the start
say
of the
apart
season.
from the DM, like
Right.
that's a small part to
Right.
miss. Look at all the successful teams,
but I'm not
and that
saying
part
it
is
should,
probably the most important part of the jigsaw. Kante is
hang
probably
on.
one of Chelsea's most important players. Liverpool,
Yeah,
Fabinho is the same. City, Rodri's the same. You know, like
But what I'm
that is a
saying
big
is
part
they
to
shouldn't be
miss.
in this situation. They shouldn't be competing with an Arsenal that's got an average age of 24, 25. Right? And an Arsenal that last season was struggling to finish 8th. Right? That squad is miles better than ours.
It's not.
On paper.
It's not well balanced though.
That's
It's a
but that's the
massive
point.
thing. You know, like they've got good individual players, but there's no real balance to it.
No, because what the thing is, the culture of Man United is not. It's not about buying players to create a balanced team. They're buying players just so they can make so much money out of them. Right? Why did they buy Ronaldo? They didn't buy him. They didn't need Ronaldo. They didn't need Ronaldo. There's only one reason they bought Ronaldo. There's only one reason they need Ronaldo. Money. Right?
I mean,
because what happened? What happened as soon as you signed him? What happened as soon as you signed him though? Outside Old Trafford. They're all parked outside the ground.
I mean, it's very easy to say that with hindsight, but I don't think anyone that would have a player that has gone on to do the things that Ronaldo's done, that did the things that Ronaldo did at their club previously, that would turn down the opportunity to bring him back. I don't think bringing him back was a problem. I think it was more a case of like he is very much a coach now. Like he's not the plucky player he used to be. He's not the sort of guy that's going to run and pick up the ball and create stuff on his own. So you need to build a system around him to be able to get the best out of him.
System they had,
United just haven't done that.
That's what I'm saying. The system they were using didn't suit Ronaldo at all, and then all of a sudden they're trying to get Ronaldo in the team every week. Right? The system never suited him in the first place. So if it doesn't suit him, why are you buying him? Like it's all that. This is the whole point with Man United. It's not about for them.
It's not just about Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's not. No. I'm saying is that it's not the culture at Man United is about how much money we can make every single year. That's what they care about. That's what the board and all the owners. That's what the owners and the board only care about. It's all they care about. Right? You ask most Man United fans, that's all they care about. How much money they can make out of them. You know, right? And
I think
by the way they buy their players, it's like Fernandes. They put down a new contract. Well, that's going to make some sales next year during the summer. This because there's no balance. Like you said, there's no balance to their team. There's no structure to their team. Right? There's no sort of figurehead to sort of message to build the team around. Right? So it just makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I think that's what they brought Rangnick in for. And I think Rangnick's influence is mainly going to be when he goes upstairs. He's not going to. If you're looking to Rangnick to be like the managerial figure, he's not going to do that. You know, like what he's going to do is he's going to arrange the backroom setup. He's going to sort that out, and the manager that they bring in is going to work very closely with him. Like Man United's problems aren't going to be fixed straight away, but they're Man United. They will fix them. It's just what they do. You know.
What was that comment earlier?
Right. I want to answer Ravi's.
Yeah. What was that comment? The one before that one.
Something about who's Arteta.
You talking about me?
Something about like.
Right.
Is that one, was it?
I can't see it.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that comment, but this comment came first. Can Arsenal catch Chelsea? And
no,
it's possible.
No chance.
I think
hang on. Luca, we're 2 points behind them with a game in hand.
That's if we win tomorrow.
No. We're 5 points behind them. We haven't won.
I think Arsenal will catch Chelsea.
No, we're 5. If we win tomorrow, we'll be 2 points off Chelsea.
That's what I'm saying.
That's if we win tomorrow against Crystal Palace.
I thought we'll win tomorrow.
So do I.
You see us play them at home?
It won't be an easy game.
It'll be a tough game. It'll be a tough game. It won't be easy, man. Palace are going to be organised. Vieira knows how to organise that team, mate. It's a massive game. Even if we lose this game,
look, we were lucky. Look, we need to be real as Arsenal fans. Yeah, I was at that game in the Emirates Stadium, and I can tell you right now, that second half performance was not good enough. We were lucky to win that game, but the stupid thing is, in the first half, they didn't register us.
Lacazette.
Yeah, in the last minute, look, they haven't lost in 6 games. They're an organised team. They've taken points off of big teams this season. Like, we should not be playing Palace away from home tomorrow lightly when we made such a difficult task of beating them at home, where our form has been excellent. We've lost 3 games in the league at home this season.
Do you think we'll beat them tomorrow?
I think we can, but in all honesty,
after Spurs winning 5-1 today, does that put Tottenham in the top 4 mix now? Because the thing is, a few weeks ago, I was saying that Tottenham ain't going to get top 4, but now they're ahead of us on goal difference.
I made a statement on Rich.
It's making me like, when I saw that, oh my God.
I was just going to say, I think Spurs are in the mix now. That's what I was going to say, though.
If this is the thing, right? If Conte, right, finishes ahead of us, right, Arteta's got to go at the end. Arteta's got to go at the end of the season.
Why?
No, because I'll tell you the reason why. I will tell you the reason why, and then I'll let you guys. No, I'll tell you the reason why, and then I'll let you guys have your thoughts. Right? I have a quick thought. The reason why, if Conte, the reason why I think if Spurs do finish ahead of us, I don't think they will, but if they do, right, Arteta's got to go at the end of the season, because the reason why, one, you have failed, right, despite Tottenham having a bad season, right. 2, it proves that they have. 2,
why are you basing this off? Why are you basing this off Tottenham?
I'm not. I'm just saying. But 2, but Stephen, I'm not finished the conversation. 2, it proves that they have an elite manager, right? Well, we don't have an elite manager.
I don't base my performances off Tottenham, mate.
But what's that got to do? Yeah, but what? But Stephen, what's
irrelevant?
I need to answer these questions.
But Stephen, if they finish ahead of us, it's a fail for Mikel Arteta.
Can I respond to this when you guys are done?
Hang on. So say if Man United got 4th and Tottenham got 5th and we got 2th, right? You're worried about what?
It is a fail. I'm sorry.
Yes, can I respond to this very quickly?
Yeah, let him respond.
About top 4.
Well, then
there's a problem.
Right. So, are you honestly saying that at the beginning of the season you looked at this squad and saw it as the 4th best squad in the Premier League?
No one expected us to be in this position.
Okay,
we're in April.
What was your early season expectations before we had even kicked the ball?
Between 8th and 10th.
Right. Okay. So now you're saying that at the beginning of the season you expected us to finish between 8th and 10th, but if we didn't finish in the top 4 but still got a Europa League spot, Arteta would have to go and our season would be a failure.
Well, yeah, because it's a failure, isn't it? Because technically you should be achieving the Champions League football.
But you didn't expect us to at the beginning of the season.
No, I didn't. No, but still, if you're in a top 4 race now, you should be finishing off and getting into the top 4. It's no good, obviously, bottoming it.
We've got the average age youngest squad in the league. Yeah, of the big 6 managers, we've got the least experienced one. You expected us to finish between 8th and 10th at the beginning of the season. Fast forward now, if we don't get top 4, but
it's a failure because you look at that January transfer window. We didn't buy no players.
You looked at our squad at the beginning of the season and you didn't see us getting any higher than 8th. And now that we are in a top 4 race, when he's only rebuilt a defense, because let me go through everyone he's bought, right? All the players that he signed, has he signed a single striker?
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
And we needed a striker in the transfer market.
2 midfielders, yeah? Partey, No, he signed Partey and Sambi Lokonga. Sambi is very much one for the future. So Partey is really the only first team central midfielder he signed. He signed Odegaard and William as attacking midfielders. Now, William didn't work, but what happened when he signed William is he said, no more buying Chelsea rejects and no more buying players over the age of 23. We are much better off going with a youth policy. And everyone said he was crazy.
That's all really good. You need experience.
Everyone said he was crazy, right? When he signed Ramsdale, who effectively has played for 2 clubs that got relegated in previous years and spent 25 million on him.
But you need a bit of experience in the team as well.
We all called him crazy. He signed Tomiyasu, who really not many people had watched in Serie A. He signed Ben White for 50 million. Everyone was like, what on earth is he doing? Spending 50 million on a centre-back who a season ago was playing championship football with Leeds. He signed Odegaard when everyone thought he should have signed Maddison. No one's saying that anymore. People are comparing Odegaard to Bruno, saying he's better. We are literally playing the best football that we have played since Wenger. Right? We are literally playing
in recent weeks. Yeah, in recent weeks.
Top 4 race that we have no place being in. We are not the 4th best squad in England, but we are punching above our weight being in it. You cannot look through such a finite lens and say that our season is a failure if we didn't get top 4 when we weren't expecting even ourselves to be there in the first place.
Well, I think it is because
have we improved from last season? Would you say we've
improved?
Yeah, of course
we've improved from last season. This time last year, we were not beating teams like Burnley in that.
All right, so you've got to sometimes you've got to be a bit patient, man. You know, like improvement doesn't happen.
Well, are you trusting the process?
Well, all right, so let me give you some stats. Right, we've kept 13 clean sheets this season. Do you know who else has kept 13 clean sheets? Chelsea. They've got world-class defenders. Rudiger, in my opinion, is world-class.
Yes,
Thiago Silva, in my opinion, and many other people's, is world-class. Mendy is a world-class keeper. James is a world-class right-back. Chilwell is knocking on that door. You mean to tell me that we have a defence that is on par for clean sheets with Chelsea? Like, that's nuts. That's crazy, yeah? From our last 39 available points, do you know how many points we've picked up?
Yes.
How many?
Was it like 30 points or something like that?
31 points.
Close enough, yeah.
We're literally one of the most informed teams from our last 12 games, not just in the Prem, but of the 5 top European leagues. And this guy's only rebuilt the defence, bro. So what's going to happen when he rebuilds midfield and attack?
Yeah, but
You've got to be a bit more patient, buddy. Like, we have no place being top 4, like being in the top 4 in the first place. If you had said to me at the beginning of the season, we're going to get top 4, as optimistic and hopeful as I am, I would have laughed in your face.
Of course, everyone would have laughed.
So
look, we can get Champions League football, but my only issue is, right, is that we've still got to play Chelsea. We've still got to play Manchester United. We've still got to play West Ham all in a row. Yeah, that is my only issue. Right, we can afford to lose those game in hands, right, and end up winning the rest of the games, but still make top 4, depending on the other results. But what I will say is that my only issue is if we don't get Champions League football, we're in the Europa League, and I don't want Europa League football. Yeah, it's an achievement. Yeah, but I want to be back in the Champions League.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, look at it like this, right? We spent 150 million this season. Yeah, if you look at the last 5 seasons, there's only 2 clubs, I think, Man City and Man United, that have spent more. So we're spending more now, right? But for the previous years, we've just been spending it on rubbish. And now, for the first time, when is the last time that you could say Arsenal signed 4 or 5 players, 6 players, yeah, and not a single one has been rubbish? I can't remember the last time I could say we could do that, other than this summer, because that's the reality. There's always been 1 or 2 good players, and then 1 absolute stinker, and then that person's on our wage bill, and then that sets us back because we can't then sign other players. Arteta he's got rid of all the dead weight. And it's clear that what he was told is, first of all, you've got to get rid of all the rubbish before you can start planting new seeds. And he's done that now. And he's starting to bring in players that are bought into his system.
Yeah, but but is he the right manager that is going to take us forward? If he gets top 4, then you give him another season.
Can I?
Listen, no. Let me tell you, right? If you had sacked Klopp in his second season, when Liverpool fans were calling for his head, because they were, yeah, how would that have worked out for Liverpool now with the benefit of hindsight? Terrible.
But the thing is,
it took him a while to build a team that won their first league title in 30 years. Now, I'm not saying Arteta is Klopp. I'm not saying that Arteta is Klopp.
But why are people comparing?
It took Klopp, a world-class manager. It took Klopp, a world-class manager, 4 years to build a team that was worthy of winning a league title.
But Chris, you're forgetting.
Why are we giving Arteta, a less experienced manager who inherited a worse squad, 2 years to do things?
Stephen, you say your thing first.
In his last 3 or 4 years, couldn't. And the Emery, who's a more experienced manager. Look what Emery's won. He couldn't.
But Emery's a better manager than Mikel Arteta.
Okay, but where did that get us? 5th.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But Emery obviously did take us in his first season. He took us into the Europa League final.
And fans actually called him out after we got 5th because we had the opportunity to get 3rd and we should have got 3rd. But we didn't. But anyway, look, my stance, I said I would probably finish 8th or 10th as well. Now, I said if he can get us in Europe, I'd bite my tongue for the next season to see what he can do in the window. If he get with the opportunity that he's been presented with, he should get top 4. Right now, for me, that's not the be all and end all. Right, and I'm looking at it from a long term perspective. If you give me the opportunity, if he gets top 4, for example, and the offer for Ten Hag comes up, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. But hang on a minute. Hang on. But what I would say is, if he got top 4, I wouldn't completely back the guy, but I would see what he does next season in terms of progressing further forward to get into the ultimate goal, because top 4 is not what I'm looking at in the be all and end all. I'm looking at the long-term future, which is we need to be challenging. We need to be up at the top again. So the first stepping stone to that is getting Champions League football. It's because you get the access to the market you really do want, as well as the money as well. And then the second part of that is that once we get to where we think we can start challenging for a league, is he going to have the minerals to be able to take on Klopp if he's still there, Pep if he's still there, Tuchel if he's still there, the known Chelsea? If all those managers are still there, is he going to take them in a straight and out fight? From what I see during game to game, no, because whenever something goes wrong, you see the great managers been able to immediately tactically adapt, and I don't see that. I don't see it.
Can I just interject and say, right?
I'm not saying he's improved, and he has improved.
Let me tell you what.
But I think in terms of challenging, in terms of the league, which is what we should be doing by the end of this project, I don't feel that he's going to be able to compete with Pep and Klopp. That's my take on it.
Let me tell you what Man United have, right, and what Chelsea have at the moment, where there has been a hiring and firing culture of their managers. The reason why the players don't fit is because there are remnants of players from multiple managers, that don't fit together.
Yeah, we've still got Granit Xhaka.
Because what happens is a new manager comes in with a new style of play, a new pattern, a new ethos, and then the players that are there previously that don't fit the system are left sat on the bench that they can't get rid of, because they put them on big wages. And then it happens again, and you rinse and you repeat the process, and then you have Man United squad, right? What we have at the moment is the first manager that has shown real promise in being able to take us forward, and you can't limit the scope of being like fourth or bust, right? Because 4 or 5 games ago, in our I can't remember what home game it was. It was the
I'll
Wolves
just make
game.
a point.
It was when we played against Wolves. Sorry, hang on. Sorry, Sam. Let me finish this point. Yeah.
Go on.
When we played Wolves, we had already taken more points at home at that point in the season than we did the whole of last season. 2 games later, we had already taken more points in the league than we did in the whole of the league last season. So progress, we need to not look at it from the perspective of a league position finish, because we finished 8th 2 seasons in a row. Yeah. But what we need to do is get our ducks in a row in terms of the squad and how it's built and making the squad competitive. And right now, this guy's got rid of Kolasinac. He got rid of Ozil when everyone was like, what you doing? He got rid of Oba when everyone was like, what you doing? Since we got rid of Oba, in the 12 games after,
I agree with that.
Our shots on goal has gone up. Our average goals per game has gone from 1.2 to 2.1. Our possession has gone up. Our expected goals has gone up. Like, all of the metrics that you would look at to show improvements in how we've been attacking has improved. And this is without him even buying a striker. So what's going to happen when he buys a striker that can actually score goals? Because Lacazette in the last 12 games as well, he's got 10 goal involvements. So he's even getting a tune out of Lacazette. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we've got to just rein it in a bit and just be like, whoa, man. Like, where are these statements? Like, Arteta's got to go if he doesn't get fourth come from, when we expected him. I was thinking 6th at best would be what we could have got anyway. If he gets 5th and he's missed top 4 by a point or 2, he's exceeded my expectation that I had at the beginning of the season.
But isn't that not the same thing what Unai Emery did? Unai Emery, right?
He's not as experienced as Emery, and he doesn't have as experienced or as high a caliber of squad as Emery did. Emery had a prime Aubameyang. Arteta's had to work with Aubameyang at his worst. Emery got to work with him at his best. Same with Lacazette. All these players that you had, David Luiz, he had quality. He had much more quality.
There's all saying they're poor.
There's
all saying
he's a manager on the squad.
There's also
and he had more money to spend.
You could also say that it could be down to the system that he was playing in, that it didn't suit him at all. Because as soon as he's gone to Barcelona, he started scoring again. So you could say it's down to the system. But look, I've also said very clearly, if we're in this race, and you know, when you get into a title race, and you know, like Liverpool's and Man City's title race, for example, that went all the way down to the last day, and Liverpool missed out by a point, right? Because of one draw, one game, one result, one referee decision, something like that. If he's got all the way down to literally that point on the last day, and we still don't get it, right? Then I was obviously would be happy, but like you said, well, like that could just be the fact that we didn't get a decision our way, or a result didn't go our way when it should have done. Like, it could just been like, for example, we lost those 2 points because of bad luck, for example, right? But again, it would have. It's like as if for myself, it's how do I put this? It's for me, it's I mean, for example, as well, and yes, he has moved some of the deadwood out, but then some of the players that should, but then some of the first player that should have gone, right, should have been Granit Xhaka.
I mean, you could say that, but I mean, I think you would need to look very closely at the form that he has shown since we lost to Liverpool.
Well, that's
like,
great.
What you've seen happen is Arteta has moved from playing a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3, where he's dropped Odegaard into the midfield a little deeper. He's playing him as an 8. Yeah, like that has helped the performances of Xhaka. Partey's looking better. sometimes if something isn't broken, don't try to fix it. Yeah, and I'm not saying Xhaka's the be all and the end all, and I'm not saying we shouldn't go out and get another midfielder in the summer. But right now, like, we are moving in a forward direction, right? So looking and analysing and being hypercritical on things that we can change could be dangerous. You know, like Arteta clearly knows what he's doing. Let me just give you a rundown on Arteta, right? Just remind you of his history, right? Saying that you don't think he has the minerals to be able to take us to where we want to get, which is league titles and Champions League.
I don't think he'll take us.
Let me just give you a rundown on his history. Yeah, when he was a youth. Sorry. Let me finish this point. Please let me finish this point.
I just wanted to make you very clear. I want to make this very clear.
Please let me finish this point.
Taking on Pep and Guardiola.
Bro. Let me finish this point and you'll get it, right?
Fine.
When he was a kid, he was in the La Masia Academy, right? He was in Barcelona's academy. Do you know who was manager when he was in that academy?
Pep.
Johan Cruyff.
Okay.
One of the greatest footballing minds, of his generation, both as a player and as a manager, right? He was then at La Masia when Rijkaard was there. Yeah, he was around when Bobby Robson was around. He's gone to Everton, worked under David Moyes, and this is why we're so good defensively, because of the low block and the sort of the defensive nature and the setup of the Everton that he played with. He's taken all of that from David Moyes. He's then worked with Arsene Wenger, one of the greatest managerial minds of the Premier League era, right? He's worked with Pep Guardiola as his assistant, one of the greatest minds of this generation of any manager, the guy that we're literally talking about as the potential usurper to Sir Alex Ferguson's great reign as a Man United manager. He's learned off the best, bro. He's learned off the best, right? And Fergie, his career had to start somewhere. Pep's career started from, he was Barcelona B's manager before he was given a chance at Barcelona, right? Give this man a chance because he knows his stuff, bro. You don't sit and work with these kinds of people. You're talking about some of the most iconic footballing minds of 3 different generations. You don't think he's learned a thing or two from that?
I'm not saying he hasn't, but
he definitely has, and it's showing the way that we're playing.
What I'm saying here is look, I did, like, trust me, like, I wasn't one of these fans, okay, that have never backed him from the start, right? Because that's not me. I always give any player, manager that comes into Arsenal Football Club, I always give them that chance. It wasn't my most pleasing appointment, but fine. Like, I said, fine, I'll go with it, right? And yeah, it started off well, and then, like, halfway through last season, like, for me, the real clutch point, and I think I was already out by that point, but the real clutch point is when you got knocked out of Europe. That should never have happened. It should never have happened.
Guys,
never ever have happened whatsoever.
There's been I think it's almost 100% confirmed that the North London derby will take place on Thursday, the 12th of May.
When?
Where have you heard this?
The 12th of May.
The 12th of May.
Where have you heard this?
Tiki Taka Corner.
Oh dear, let me just check the fixture list quickly.
Yeah, check the fixture list.
How does he know about that Tiki Taka?
It's gonna be official soon.
Do you know what that means, right? If that's gonna happen the 12th of May on a Thursday, means right, Tottenham could have the advantage. I'm not saying that they will finish ahead of us, but they could have the advantage. Because Tottenham's final game of the season is Norwich away.
Oh my God!
Ours is Everton. But that game, just to give you a lowdown quickly, on the 7th of May we play Leeds, and on the 15th of May we play Newcastle. So it would mean that in the space of 7, 8, in the space of 8 days, we would play 3 games, and we've got a game against West Ham on the 1st of May.
I don't know if we're going to get top 4 now.
That sounds horrific. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We've had easier fixture run-ins earlier on in the season.
We should get it.
We've had plenty of rest, man.
I'm not sure if we'll get top 4 now because of that.
We will.
I don't think it really changes anything. I'd rather have played them later. What I didn't want them to do, because we've got a difficult run where we've got so our next 3 games are Palace away tomorrow, Brighton at home, Southampton away, but then we've got this run of Chelsea, Man United, and West Ham. So Chelsea away, Man United at home, West Ham away. What I didn't want them to do was put the game straight before that run or straight after that run. I'm happy that there's a buffer.
But do you think? Because I thought the Tottenham game would have been arranged because we play Manchester United on the 23rd and then we don't play West Ham to the 1st. I thought they would have put Spurs on the 27th of April, which is the very last Wednesday.
No. I don't want that fixture anywhere near that one. Man United, where they've suffered in October, they had that month of death where it was just like they had to play all the top teams. You want those games to be separated because what Arsenal have been very good at this season is when we play the difficult teams. Okay, we haven't beaten any of the big 6 teams, but we've been able to go on really good runs, beating everyone else. We lost to Liverpool, then won our next 6 or something like that, 5 or 6 games. After we lost to Liverpool in October, before that, we lost to Man City on our 3rd game. Went on an 11-game run. We didn't lose the game. So you need to kind of isolate.
He makes a good point here. I'd rather play Everton.
Yeah, I'd much rather they be isolated, man.
It's a possibility because if you think about it, like that Tottenham game, if that's going to be the 12th of May, what that tweet has just put out means Tottenham's final game of the season against Norwich. Norwich will already be relegated. Right, Norwich are not going to turn up against Tottenham, and we have got Everton at home. Right, our record against Everton, technically, mathematically, we should beat Everton. Right, yes, Everton beat us twice last year. Right, and they beat us again this season.
Yeah. But
right,
Everton will be Everton should be relegated by then.
You think they're getting relegated?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think they could, man, but
they could, but I don't think they will. But
look, I just don't think that Spurs have got 1, 2, 3. That Spurs have got 8 more games. Yeah, they're not winning all 8 of those games.
No, the only games. The only games I think Spurs will struggle is 2 games, and that's Aston Villa and Liverpool. The rest,
oh no,
you just don't know with Spurs. You know what the history of the Tottenham is.
But saying that, Brentford beat Brentford.
It's this. Here.
Oh no, that's.
Sorry to hear about that.
Oh shit, we send our best wishes, man.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's terrible.
Has just shared.
That's another manager that Arteta worked with, by the way, Louis van Gaal. I forgot to mention him as well.
Wait. Louis van Gaal managed Barcelona.
Yeah,
he was the assistant with who was it? Was it Mourinho or something? I don't know. Them two had a good relationship on the training ground.
Arteta's learned from the best minds in the footballing world, guys. Trust me, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him.
After what I've seen last season, the reason I'm harsh on Arteta is because maybe it's because I'm still stuck in the past. Maybe because I demand so much.
We all are.
Yeah, I still want my high standards, and I don't feel like I want to drop my high standards.
Bro, my first experience of a league title was 6 years old when we won it at Anfield.
Yeah,
I've seen us win 5.
I've
my standards are up here, but there's a realism to realizing what my high standard is. If it took Klopp with a better squad, with more resources, with better players to start with, 4 years to build a title-winning team, that's the measure of patience we should have.
We've got the resources Liverpool have.
And if you keep bringing in managers and chopping and changing, a new manager comes in, he looks at all the players Arteta's doing, he wants to go with a completely different style And then next
you get why some
he's
people
like, oh,
were
these 5
skeptical?
or 6 players aren't good enough. We need to get rid of them all. He wants to bring in new players and go in a completely different direction. You keep doing that, and then all of a sudden you've got a squad like Man United, which is the sum of Louis van Gaal players, David Moyes players, Jose Mourinho players, and some remaining Fergie players, and none of them fit together.
I get that, but can you get why, after seeing what we saw last season, where at one point we were 16th in the table, why some fans are still skeptical over this manager?
Why did Kroenke wait 2 years? Why did Kroenke wait 2 years to give him 150 million to rebuild a squad? He gave him 40 million in his first season, and
he had 100 million borrowed from the 100 year to pay 120 million pounds borrowed from the bank as well.
What? Maybe if Arteta had access to the funds sooner that he needed to do his job, maybe we wouldn't have seen what happened last season. Imagine we had Ben White and Tomiyasu. And Odegaard was there, but imagine we had some of these players last season.
Chris, to be honest, I still.
But the reality is, what he was given to work with.
But these players, how would you know if they would have performed last season?
Arteta, bro, but there's more. You got to look outside.
I am trying to look at it like that. But
constraints that he was given to work with in his previous 2 years, you've got to factor that in, man. You've got to.
What I'm saying is that, like, in terms of having, fucking, I was gone out of my brain now. Fuck's sake. I still, even if we had those funds available, I still think, in terms of us setting up the system, and it's the way we've improved this season. It's not just because we bought better players; it's because the system's improved gradually over time. Right? That's how the form's got better over the season.
But how would you improve the system?
But last season.
You have to make mistakes to improve a system. Have you heard of a saying? Yeah. Have you heard of a saying, Stephen? You have to crack a few eggs to make an omelette.
Yeah, I heard that.
You heard that saying, right?
Yeah.
You think Tuchel didn't make mistakes? You think Klopp hasn't made mistakes? You think Pep hasn't made mistakes? You think Fergie, Wenger, any great manager has made mistakes early on in their career, because what they're doing is they're figuring things out. You know, they're like, okay, so that didn't work, so we're going to try this. The example that I gave you was we signed Willian and it didn't work. And if it did,
why should be making this at a top club?
Sorry, Stephen. Let me just finish the sentence. If we didn't sign Willian and Willian didn't become a failure, we wouldn't have turned our policy to signing good youth players. And the best players in our team at the moment are our young players. And not only are they our best players, but you can see game on game they are improving. Yeah. So he made a mistake. He cracked an egg. Yeah. And from that, he cracked the egg by buying William. Yeah. And from that, he's got these young players and he's making an omelette with them, bro. That's literally, it's an iterative process, bro. You make some mistakes, and if you've got more experience, you make less mistakes. But the reality is he doesn't have that experience, yeah? So
but
he's made mistakes, like every manager.
I get that.
Yeah.
But with most managers, like, you shouldn't, like, Arsenal shouldn't be the club you should be making your mistakes and then you'll trade from. Arsenal should be like the club is where you get to once you beat, like, you've learned all those badges, you've earned all those coaching badges. Right? That's why you've had managers like, let's say, Steven Gerrard. Even he's gone from Rangers, wanting everything there. He's now gone to Aston Villa. Right? He's learning his trade before we all know he's going to the Liverpool job eventually. Right? But he's learning his badges there before he gets that job.
Let me put it to you like this.
What I'm saying is that you learn your trade in. And what I'm just saying is that most fans are expecting him to learn his should expect them to learn their trade in a lower league club before making the jump to the big job that you deserve.
Let me put it to you like this, yeah. Pep Guardiola, right? Pep Guardiola last season, he made a decision in the Champions League final against Chelsea. He had a system that had been working. But he didn't want Chelsea to be able to second guess his system. So he didn't play Fernandinho or Rodri. He started with a different midfield. Guess what? That cost him. I'm not saying Chelsea wouldn't have won if those two didn't play. But what was evident after that game, with the benefit of hindsight, was that was a huge error. It was a big mistake. Yeah. Where the goal came from, in the centre of midfield, ultimately, where Mount picked up the ball and threaded the ball into Havertz, was the space where Fernandinho or Rodri would usually be in his system. So Man City isn't the club where you go and you learn and you make your mistakes. And Pep isn't a junior. He's not a novice. He's managed Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and City. He's managed long enough to know better than to make those kinds of mistakes. And guess what? He made it anyway. But what has he learned from that, this season? Rodri has remained a mainstay in as many games for Man City as possible. And they've looked better for it. That's my point, yeah? It took Klopp 4 years to get it right. Of course he made a bag of mistakes in those 4 years. Eventually, right, you figure things out. You got to, like, 2 years when you've only been given 40 million and then 100 million in your first windows, yeah, when your whole squad from top to bottom is rotten, because that's what he walked into. It's not enough. You know, like, we're not a Chelsea or a City or a Real Madrid. We're not going to get given huge amounts in one window. Yeah, so he's got to incrementally build each facet, each area of the team.
You say, hang on, you say that, but then we get 150. We spend the most.
We spent the most, and we bought 6 players. Remind me of a time, yeah, that a big 6 club spent 150 million and got 6 players for it. Don't worry, I'll wait.
No, yeah, it's not been for a while, but because
it's not been ever.
No,
I can tell you right now, it's not been ever. No big 6 club has bought 6 players with 150
million. The inflation of prices. Usually that
in today's market.
Today's market, that will cover back 3 quality players.
Huh?
In today's market, you're looking about what, in terms of quality? If you want top quality, about 3 players tops.
If you want the world's best, you're paying 100 million for Grealish. You're paying 80 million for Pogba, and that was a few years ago. So imagine what that would be based on inflation.
Arsenal ain't going to do that. Arsenal are not going to go out and go and spend ridiculous money. If we've been told, right, like, depending if we get Champions League football or not, right, if we do, right, we're not going to go out and go and say, okay, Kroenke's going to give us so much money, right, despite the rumours going around that around. Huh? But no, Kroenke isn't going to go out and say, right here, because we need, if we do get Champions League football, we need at least 200 million to overhaul the squad. If we want to compete, we need at least
overhaul.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, so we don't
need a massive overhaul.
Well, we need to clear a couple of deadwood players.
Yeah, but an overhaul is like getting rid of most of the squad, like 9 or 10.
Yes,
players.
I know it is.
That's not. We don't need an overhaul. Where are you getting that one from?
I would say overhaul in the sense that it's not a first team 11 that wins the Champions League. It's a squad. Yeah, I think when Tomiyasu's not fit and you have to play Cedric, there's a massive drop in quality.
It is, and Cedric's doing a good job at the moment.
If Partey and Xhaka were to get injured, there's a massive drop in quality with El Neni and Sambi. Yeah, if Saka was to get injured, Pepe has the quality, but I think defensively it doesn't really fit our system. You know, like, so
no.
We need an overhaul in a sense that if we're going to win a Champions League or a Premier League, we would still need squad players or good ones that are on the bench, as well as,
for me,
I think it's 1 or 2 midfielders for the first team, a striker, and cover at right back as well.
Yeah, that's 4 players that I would expect Arsenal to be going out and getting anyway to further improve the squad anyway.
Guys, Louis van Gaal might not have long left to live. Look, it says aggressive.
Sad news, man. Some other goal.
Very sad news, man.
This is
Heartbreaking.
to me because I lost. Oh my god! I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna try and hold it. I lost my eldest uncle to cancer.
I lost a family member to cancer years ago.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Yeah.
And he never reached his 50th birthday.
I'm sorry, man.
Really sorry to hear that.
I lost my dad to cancer.
Right. So yeah, time to move on to the other. Luca, what happened to your team in the World Cup qualifiers?
A very funny one, very funny.
Very funny.
Yes. Yes, Chiellini, man. Yeah, I know, man. Literally.
Hang on.
We lost to Macedonia, man.
The pun. Full screen.
They went from it's coming Rome to they're staying home.
Look,
we were from Campione d'Europa, and now we're not literally just winning nothing. Like
full screaming.
We still need to qualify though. From our point of view.
Tommy, answer this question for me. What's Andre Silva doing that Italy aren't?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
No. Let me tell you. If this look, I predicted North Macedonia to do absolutely nothing against Italy. But my prediction, if Italy would have qualified in the next round, would be Italy 0, Portugal 1, Andre Silva in injury time. That was my prediction.
Well, if that would have happened, mate, I don't know what I would have done. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So.
Apparently, 28 goals in 32 games last season doesn't make Andre Silva like good at all. He's totally
Ask Gunnar King, mate. What does he think of Andre Silva?
He was only outscored by Robert Lewandowski. Let that sink in.
Andre Silva, the guy that used to play for Frankfurt.
Yeah. He was only.
Quality.
Thank you very much.
He got what? So in his last season at Frankfurt, he outscored Haaland. I think he did it 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
The only guy that scored more than him was Lewandowski.
He's saying he's trash. He's useless.
He was class at Frankfurt. Basically, my ex-girlfriend, her brother-in-law is from Frankfurt, and he's a Frankfurt fan. And I've been there.
Nice.
I've been there about 3 times, and he is football mad as well, like me, you know. So big Frankfurt fan. He tuned me onto him. Yeah, he's got quality, man. I think. Yeah, I think. Where's he moved to now?
Arsenal. I'd take him at Arsenal.
He moved to. Did he move to Italy as well?
No, he moved to Leipzig. Andre Silva went to Leipzig.
Yeah.
If he ended at Leipzig, I would have taken him from Frankfurt straight away.
I would have.
Oh, yeah. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't want him at all. He's shit. Apparently.
About we have to qualify.
And Renato Sanchez. Renato Sanchez is like dog food.
No.
Yeah. Look, this isn't a PG stream. You can say whatever you want.
Oh, he's dog shit.
PG.
Oh man. I got to admit, like the World Cup qualifiers, I couldn't believe it when Italy got dumped out, man. But
I talk about my country, right? The thing is, like Roberto Mancini, right? The thing is, he should have called up Mario Balotelli at the time, right?
What? You said he should have gone.
No, I said Balotelli. Remember what I said in my stream a couple of weeks ago? Right,
I said Mancini out.
I did actually. I did. Because he failed to qualify for. How can you go from winning the Euros to failing to qualify for beating Macedonia?
For having half your side.
Yeah, but we missed a lot of players. Chiesa.
That's what I'm saying. What do you expect?
Spinazzola wasn't there. Chiesa was out.
Well,
Locatelli had COVID. De Lorenzo got injured. Bonucci weren't there. Chiellini just come back.
Yeah, that's a lot of injuries. I know.
Balotelli wasn't called up.
I think that's the core of their squad, really. Like, Locatelli, Chiesa as well.
Anyway,
Do you think Mario Balotelli should have been given a chance? A lot of people disagreed with me, but some people just don't realise that what he done 10 years ago in the Euros. Mario Balotelli, he might be a little bit washed up, but still.
That's
but
10
Balotelli,
years ago.
I think Balotelli should have started for me.
I swear Mario Balotelli.
Or called up even.
I swear there was Italy versus Germany in Euro 2012 semi-finals. Mario Balotelli scored the goal that knocked Germany out of the Euros.
Yes, he did. He scored twice.
Mm-hmm. He's a good player. You know, I think he's been rediscovering some good form. But yeah, I mean, like all jokes aside, like it's not good to see Italy not at the World Cup, man. You want the best teams. I know, like it would have either been Italy or Portugal in any case, and I kind of wanted to see Ronaldo, like because it's his last. He's going to be 41 at the next World Cup. This is like last chance saloon for him. But I would have at least wanted. It would have been ideal to see Italy have a shoot off with Portugal. And yeah, it is sad to not see them at the tournament because you want to see the best players. And Italy have got so many of them, man. With Verratti, Jorginho, Chiesa, Spinazzola, Donnarumma.
All I'm going to say is that they should have been a little more humble in victory. It's okay. You just won the European trophy, the European Championships, but they went a little overboard. And you know, there's another thing that I don't get about people slagging off England so much. Like, I know we have a bit of our fans that can be a bit racist. Yeah, I know some of the pundits don't help either. But the majority, but then look at Italy. Look, don't tell me that they're clean as well. They have a bunch of racist fan bases too.
Yeah.
Look, the majority of England are not like how the
like, to be honest, that's like it's not that. It's just like it is partly that, but like everyone has that. So there you go. So everyone has that in every fan base. So like whether you're right, but it's the fact that it's like they're just like, for example, mocking our song, which is not actually you're mocking our song that we didn't actually create. It was just a bunch of singers created for a World Cup, and it's just stuck as a chant. So that's why we sing it. So what?
And if you do your research on 3 lines on a shirt, it's actually not got anything to do with winning at all. If you actually listen to the whole song, other than those 3 words, you will actually see it has more to do with disappointment than it does to do with optimism.
Yeah. It's a play on irony. You know, it's an ironic ballad. You know, like that's literally what it is. You know, like it's obviously like how the British sense of humor works, like with like sarcasm and you know that is the whole idea. But like I think a lot of people think, oh, that's just England's way of saying that they just like England expects. Like it's not. Like we're almost laughing at our own.
How shit we are.
Yeah, we're laughing at how much we're like Tottenham on the international stage. Let's be real. Like that's what we're doing. Like, you know, like we're having like a bit of fun with it.
Luca,
you know, like
speaking of Tottenham, Luca, what did you predict?
Yeah, come down here.
What predictions?
Your predictions that you did like earlier for this week's games. What did you predict the Tottenham game?
Have a look. What did I predict?
No, ask. You should know.
You got it on that list.
Yeah, you should know. Come on, tell me.
Was it
What did you say?
2-0, wasn't it? 1-1 or something like that. I said.
Did you say 2-0 on one channel?
I said 2-0 Spurs on one channel.
Then why did you say 1-1?
I think you said 2-0 Spurs, didn't you? On one channel, didn't you?
Innit? So I said 1-1.
So why did you say 1-1?
I can't remember, but it doesn't matter.
Just, so I didn't want them to win. That's why I said 1-1.
Hang on,
fair
but-
enough, really.
Hang on, you said that wasn't a problem beforehand, so
Just rewind. Just rewind last week's video, mate. If I don't know what I said.
Yeah, I'm sorry for apologies for eating on the stream, by the way.
No worries, man.
No worries, you must be hungry.
Yeah.
Should we do predictions now?
What's going on, Almighty Blues?
Yeah, first I have to say, like, what are your thoughts on the World Cup group? Like all
fun.
I think it's quite good in my opinion. I think with England, right? I think England get quite an easy group.
I think it's brilliant. You're not there.
I think, yeah, very funny. But no, I think it's good for England. But England getting Scotland, Wales, right? Scottish fans, Welsh fans having a bit of a meltdown over.
I can't say anything yet until we're qualified.
No, you can't. But
I know.
Yeah, man.
Same with, well,
I love
same
how
with
Wales and
Ukraine, but Wales
Scotland
are in the
are like
final.
giving it this already, and they're not even qualified
Yeah,
yet.
I like. That's
I know
what I
Scotland
like.
fans are giving it like, oh, we've got England, even though we've not even qualified yet. You know what I mean?
Mike's reaction
Giving
on
it like big lips.
did not want in England. But other than that, I think it's good draws. It's all right actually. This group stage draw, it's not too bad. Could have been a little bit better, but I think it's solid. But no, I think the difficult groups out of the whole World Cup draw, I've got to say probably the Portugal one. Really, I think that's probably group of death.
Yeah, I think
Or
the Germany one. Germany and Spain were in the same group as well. That looks tricky. But I like the fact that in our group we got a chance to play against potentially one of the home nations. I just love that. Like I lived in Wales for like 6 years, and I've got mates in Scotland as well. Like, yeah, like it always adds to the fun. I think.
Yeah, because it's rivalry as well.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have in a group, Wales or Scotland?
Well, I lived in Wales for that long. I've got like a lot more friends there than I do in Scotland. I've visited Scotland a few times, but like even though he played for Spurs, I've always really
Gareth
liked Gareth Bale. Yeah, like, and again, looking at his career, I think this is going to be his last major international tournament. Having said that, though, I wouldn't lose sleep if Scotland picked Wales to the post. You know, like it's not like that.
Scotland have got good quality, like John McGinn, who's our best player, and they've got Billy Gilmore, they've got absolute ballers. Definitely midfield is more of the quality they've got. Definitely the midfield.
It'll be good for Kieran Tierney as well. You know, experience opportunity to the World Cup as well. You know, which would be good for Arsenal. So
Andrew Robertson, Lyndon Dykes, Shea Adams, all guys that play the English Premiership.
The trouble with Scotland, sorry to interrupt, but the trouble with Scotland is you have improved at the moment, right? You still draw to teams where I feel like Scotland expect to beat, but you have improved recently. But I think what Scotland are lacking is a proper centre forward, a bit similar to what we have.
Completely agree with you. We're lacking a striker that can score goals, but we've only got Lyndon Dykes, Kevin Nisbet, who plays for Hibernian, Shea Adams, we've got that Stoke City striker called Jacob.
Not have Leigh Griffins.
No, he's finished with Scotland now, but he was a really good player, Leigh Griffiths. Scored 2-3 catch against England. Sorry to say that. At Hampden Stadium.
No, but
Scotland should have won that day. I don't care what anyone said. We should have won. But if it wasn't for Stuart Armstrong, we got clearing. Can't believe it, you got.
The thing with Scotland, Scotland
groups.
don't have the Kenny Miller or James McFadden. That's what Scotland lack.
Yeah, James McFadden was very good at Motherwell.
I remember his goal against France.
That was a top of
Scotland
a
won
goal,
in
wasn't
Paris.
Mm.
it? And we get. I think we get cheeky diving against France or Italy that year in that group.
Yes.
I think either Italy or France got a penalty. It shouldn't have been a penalty.
I think Italy won 2-1.
I remember Barry Ferguson got, I think, against Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bruce Ferguson.
So these are the groups.
Wow.
I honestly think there's an upset on the card.
I'll tell you what I want to talk about. Group H, by the way. So my heritage, my dad is from Sierra Leone in West Africa.
Right.
So I'm half African. And my granddad is actually buried in Ghana. I do have some relatives there. I don't know if anyone remembers the World Cup in 2010 when Luis Suarez deliberately handballs the ball in the dying moment of extra time. Asamoah Gyan hits the post. Ghana lose the penalty shootout. That was the first ever World Cup on African soil. It was in South Africa, and no African country has ever won the World Cup. So more than anything, I just want to see Ghana slap Uruguay. They could slap Uruguay and go out for all I care, but I just want to see revenge so badly. I remember that.
That'd be brilliant.
Football, and even he was sat there watching it with me, and even he was seething. You know what I mean? Like we were all.
Hopefully, Thomas Partey could be.
Never forgiven him for that.
Hopefully, Thomas Partey could be the Partey what he was at.
If Thomas Partey scored the goal,
that'd be great.
Who was that person next to you?
Huh?
You said like that was, wasn't it like that was cheating?
Yeah.
Like, someone sat next to you.
What's that? Sorry?
Sorry, nothing.
Now, didn't you say someone that there was a Uruguayan sat next to you?
Oh no, it was my dad. My dad. I was watching it with my dad and like my family basically. We were all watching it together. And yeah, I just remember like just seeing that moment and then just thinking, yeah, Gion's going to score. I think that's the furthest that an African nation has been in the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
And the route was favourable. Obviously, Uruguay went on to get to the final that year.
No, they got knocked out by the Netherlands.
No.
Oh, was that in the semis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, but it would have done so much for African football as well. You know, like we all know that the number of places that teams get allocated is based on how consistently teams from that particular continent get further on in the competition. So like Africa's only allocated like 5 spots at the moment. Yeah, I've never forgiven him for that, bro. He's world class. Don't get me wrong. I rate Suarez, but as a human being, he's not a nice person.
So Major General Kante says Germany, Spain, Denmark. He thinks Denmark are dark horses as well.
Okay, not a bad shout.
I would say my dark horse. Well, it's not really a dark horse, but I think Germany needs to be watched very closely.
Yeah, I got
They do.
Germany. Germany are going to team they used to be, haven't they? I don't know if they've improved since then.
Yeah, I mean, like
I think the last World Cup, I believe, they missed out on the like biggest third, didn't they? Like behind South Korean teams like that, didn't they? I remember Son in a game, he rang the show and he scored for South Korea.
That's it.
Son, who plays for Tottenham.
I think, I think that's what we've got to look at. It's just I think with Germany have got like obviously like Bayern Munich. A lot of players play for Bayern, like so they're gonna have that togetherness and like Hansi Flick's worked with some of them at Bayern before. Working with Germany now, and yeah, like Hansi Flick, I think he's gonna have them playing like more of a modern, like progressive style of football.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have they don't have Cruz anymore. They still have Gundogan, Goretzka, Kimmich, and even young guy from Mönchengladbach, who everyone in the Premier League is after. Florian
Neuhaus, he's good, yeah. And
You talk about Manuel Neuer.
Good evening, Miss Melina. How are you?
I got Melina. Hope you're well.
Big up, Mel.
Muller's still in the setup as well.
Mel,
Yeah.
thank you for this.
Yeah, I've seen it on your social media, Stephen. Well done. Well done to you,
It's
mate.
not well done to me, it's her.
Yeah, I know. Well done to her. It was very nice of her doing that to you, Stephen.
At least I'll take from like Liz.
What's this?
I like people that care about you, mate.
My channel raises money for charity while we do Arsenal football content. And we were doing another 6-hour live stream for the yearly fundraiser. Which is on the it was supposed to be on the first Friday in March, but it was on for this year. We did it on the second Friday. But it's called Big Yellow Friday for Children's Liver Disease Foundation. And Melina did most of the planning and getting the guests together, to be honest. So,
Nice.
so I'm really thankful for that. But while she was doing that, she wrote off to Arsenal Football Club with my address saying, "Is there anything you can do to help us?" And they sent back a letter. So sending us their best wishes, and also a card signed by some of the players.
Nice, man. Big up Miss Melina, man.
Plus, also, that can go with the one I got from Wenger when a nurse wrote for him as well. So there's 2 of them now. So it's quite astonishing.
2 great managers, like it's great.
I loved it when he put, "We're all behind you." I said, "Well, you keep going the way you're going, and I'll be right back behind you, mate."
You will get there, man. I promise you. It's
look,
just
in the end, I'm not sitting here saying I see it as what I think is best for my club, and in the end, doesn't matter what happens when Arsenal go on that pitch. I'm backing the manager, I'm backing the players for those 90 minutes, and then I judge what I see from that, and then try to make my opinion on it. If he proves me wrong, which I would love nothing more, I'd love nothing more for him to get us to challenging for the league, and then proving us wrong, because then it doesn't. For me, that's my agenda doesn't come above the club. Sorry. In the end, I love my club, not my agenda. I don't want to be proven right. I'd rather him just prove me wrong and get Arsenal to the top. And if he doesn't, then fine, we move on. But
my bigger agenda really has always been with Kroenke, and
that's another agenda.
That's the biggest one, because I think like Arteta might have lacked experience, but the Kroenkes would have been the ones that made the decision to hire him in the first place, and that would have been based on probably not even wanting to pay the wages of a top level manager.
It would have been based on that,
give in to the demands that a top level manager would have wanted. Conte would have come in and been like, right, I want 200 million. Like, if you're not going to give me that, I'm not going to come. So Arteta would have been the guy that would have been prepared to work within their means. So that's where all my agenda's been, and even now this season, they're proving me wrong, the Kroenkes, and it's as you said about Arteta. I would rather be wrong about the Kroenkes than right and our club fail. And I'll tell you one thing, right? You look at the Rams, right? They won the Super Bowl with the youngest ever manager, who was really inexperienced. You know, like.
Do you think what the latest news is? Do you think what the latest news has come out about Stan Kroenke? Rumours going around about the Emirates Stadium or something like that.
Oh no! So that's the stadium for one of the football stadiums that was going to host an upcoming World Cup. He has to redevelop it because it doesn't meet like standards for FIFA or UEFA.
How does the Emirates not meet their standards?
Well, they are redeveloping the Emirates as well. Actually, no. This is one of the football clubs he owns in America.
Oh yeah, but it's because they're thinking about buying the foot. But yeah, thinking of which, how thinking of owners and the problems with their owners, Chelsea, how did they get on this weekend?
We did shit, but anyway. Yeah, Chris, I had a dream last night that
Go on, Brentford.
Just casually sprinkled it in there. I couldn't believe. I didn't even watch it because I was just like, I just thought Chelsea are going to win it. Like I had a lot of other things to do.
Anyway, so
Chris, back. Couldn't believe the result. I was shocked and gobsmacked at it.
Well, look, let's be honest. Chelsea. You could see Tuchel had his eye on Real Madrid next week.
Yes.
You could see that in the selection. Left Kovacic out. Kovacic is low-key underrated as one of Chelsea's most important midfielders as well.
It's the only thing that's going for him, isn't it? So
yeah. Gone to trying a back four as well. No James. Obviously, Chilwell's still out.
Right, Chris. Sorry, his name Leicester Till I Die is also called Chris. I've sent you the link if you want to join. I usually have up to 6 people, so if a seventh one's backstage, I'm not going to be getting either Connor King or Niall Kane off. So one of you or Luke, I will have to go backstage. Is that okay, Steve? If a seventh person,
I'll go backstage if you want.
No, not yet. They're on 7 people in the studio.
All right, that's fine.
Alonso, Asby, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, look, yeah.
I'm doing the predictions. I'm writing the predictions. But carry on.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. We deserve to lose for that lineup. Okay, no worries, Chris. Pick up yourself anyway.
We're doing the predictions this week.
Yeah, we are. And we're doing the UCL predictions as well.
Oh, and that's UCL as well. Jesus Christ. I only just done it.
Let's see. They're not that many.
Don't tell me you're doing Europa League as well.
Because it's a quarter final, that's why there won't be many games. Like 8 teams left for the Champions League and the Europa Conference.
Yeah, but it's plus that and the Premier League.
So the fixtures are Benfica versus Liverpool, Manchester City versus Atletico Madrid.
Can we do the Premier League?
Yeah, we do the Premier League first.
Because I'll write those down first.
Okay. We're going to question. This is for you, Chris, Steve, Luca.
I'll be honest. I've maintained I don't think it's likely we'll catch Chelsea. Reason being, put aside yesterday's result, I think it's been like 2 or 3 months since they've lost the game. Pretty solid defensively, but I think now with Havertz, they're starting to discover goals more frequently as well. I think the chances that we do have are the fact that Chelsea are juggling 3 competitions. The FA Cup, they're in the semi-final. Obviously in the quarters of the Champions League. You've got the semi and the final. It's the fixture around their current fixture list. They're really missing Chilwell, man. They're really missing James. Like, these two are like the key contributors for like chance creation. Last season when we played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and we won, it was you would just play like City and like, I think it was like the FA Cup semi-final, and then you had a Champions League game coming up as well. So it was very similar circumstances where you like rested and played a weakened squad, and we were able to kind of capitalize on that. But I just don't see it happening. I think, our more realistic chance is just nailing down 4th. But obviously, you've got to aim for 3rd. Like Lee Dixon told me off for going at him on a tweet saying that probably not likely we can catch them. He just said, "Look, if you don't believe, what's the point of being a fan, right?" And we are in good form. Like, we are picking up points. I think that game against Palace tomorrow is massive. If we're going to catch Chelsea, we need to win our next 3 games.
Of course, and that's what we got to do. We've got to win those 3 games, and Palace for me is going to be a really difficult game. If we lose tomorrow, it's not looking good on the top 4, and I know we have other games as well to try and have a great opportunity, but tomorrow is a massive game. So,
there's still all to play for if we lose.
Well, it won't look good on paper, innit? So.
What? But you said top 4 is over now.
Say that again, sorry.
You said top 4 is over.
Well, if we lose tomorrow, right, and then don't capitalise in the next one, if we don't say if we don't win tomorrow in Brighton,
no, you said it's already over.
Isn't it? So
you said it's already over.
It'll be a tough race, man. I think it's going to go right to the wire.
Yeah, I don't feel, as an Arsenal fan, I want to be optimistic, but I don't know, man. If we're going to get top 4, man, I just feel like because of the lack of squads.
I don't know, man. You really think you're valuing Tottenham over Arsenal?
Mate, Spurs are not getting top 4, mate. But
well,
I don't think you can say that definitively, man. I'm sorry, man. I know this.
Probably West Ham or United.
You've got to look at like.
You think United are getting top 4? You're deluded.
I'm telling you, like, you
can't
can't
know that. You don't know, but anything can happen, mate. So, for the moment, people are saying Tottenham. So,
look at their fixtures, right? They've got Aston Villa away next week. Then they've got Brighton at home. Then they've got Brentford away. Then they've got Leicester at home. Then they've got Liverpool away, Burnley and Norwich. They've got Tottenham. They've got winnable games.
And then they've got us on the 12th of May.
Yeah. They've got winnable games.
United will not get top 4. I'll say that right now out loud.
What's that?
And that's coming from a Man United fan.
I'm saying Man United, I don't think we'll get it anymore. The top 4.
I'll be honest. I said it this morning. I made a TikTok post this morning. I am more wary of Tottenham than United. I'm more wary of them than West Ham. West Ham have got the Europa League to juggle. Tottenham have got no Europe. They're out of all the cup competitions as well. And in Kane and Son, they've got 2 world-class strikers. They've got a world-class manager. And now this Kulusevski's coming in. He's chiming in. Bentancur's looking good. Romero's he's fit now and he's starting to shore up their defence a bit. They're finding form at the right time of the season. it's worrying. Well, I don't want to say worrying. That's a strong word. I'd say it's definitely got my attention. You know, like.
Do you think if we do play Spurs on the 12th of May, do you think we'll beat Spurs on the 12th of May?
Well, we haven't won at White Hart Lane since the 2012-13 season. North London derbies historically.
Since Thomas Rosicky scored that strike.
We'll win.
Yeah. Like the North London derbies, they haven't beaten us at the Emirates since November 2010. Yeah, so they're always games that are decided on home form for some reason. So we're going to have to do something that we haven't done in 8 years if we're going to win there. Which
it matters about the mentality, because this is what we don't do, right? And this is the thing, we come up against the big six. We have big games in a row like Chelsea, Man United. We don't raise our game. And then that's it. We don't beat the top six.
Yeah, this question.
Top five and Tottenham.
Tottenham is top four.
If Liverpool win the quadruple, does that make them the biggest team in England? I don't think so. Obviously, in terms of like trophy success, yeah, it would. Like, undoubtedly, you would be. You already are. Like, you've won more trophies than United already, but United.
I don't think they'll win the quadruple. I think Man City are going to beat them in the FA Cup.
I think United is a commercial entity, and like the fan base. That's where you've got to catch them up now. If you're going to kind of overtake them, as the sponsorship deals, like the revenue that Man U generates is like beyond any English club. Like, and I think you get there. I think you would need to sustain this level of success for like another 3 or 4 years, bringing other big bits of silverware, bringing some big players in. You look at like the Premier League legacy of like Ronaldo and Rooney and like these guys, like they've had too much success in the Premier League era, I think, for even doing a quadruple to just suddenly overturn their stature.
I made this bet live on one of the podcasts I was on, and it was, if Liverpool win the quadruple, I will wear a Liverpool shirt on one of the podcasts.
Why do you do this?
Now, this one is safe. They are not winning the quadruple.
You don't.
Oh, that reminds me. I've done a bet as well with Amondi from Man United Agenda. If Man United finish below Arsenal, he's gone in the Arsenal top.
What?
Hi, Amondi. How are you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. He was in there a minute ago.
Oi, send me that.
Yeah, we're going to shout it over.
Get me on. I'll roast him.
Luca, that's not my phone.
That's not mine.
That's my dad's phone connected to the MacBook. Look, I saw that live stream, which had you. I don't know if it was Colleen. It was Colleen, Avhope, Terry from the football studio. Who was? I can't remember the Man United.
What, Terry from the Football Terrace was on there?
Yeah, Terry was. Yeah,
what, on the Man United Agenda?
And someone else. But anyway,
he wasn't. Luca.
Big up yourself, Fahim.
Big up. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah.
So what I was saying was, there was a massive debate between Colleen and Patrick, and they went at each other saying, if Tottenham finish above Arsenal, Colleen has to wear a Tottenham shirt.
Why?
And if Arsenal finish above Tottenham, Patrick has to wear an Arsenal shirt.
If this team makes my girl have to wear a Tottenham shirt, I'm not going to be happy.
And if And if the Monty team finish above both, that means Patrick and Colleen have to wear Man United shirts.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, I
Or is
remember.
it
I see this bet as well. Well, it's safe to say that.
He also said he'll wear a Liverpool shirt if Tottenham make and saying you'll never walk alone.
Well, if they said that they have to wear a Tottenham shirt, whoever said that, then the fan will probably say, right, okay, I don't want Arsenal to get top four. What would you rather do? Would you rather have Arsenal get top four or not get top four?
We have to get top four.
Yeah,
it's like it's bothering me. Like I'm
just for the pure banter, I want to see Tottenham get top four, just so that I can see Terry saying you'll never walk alone.
Yeah, it would be funny. It would be funny, but as much as I would like to see Terry do that, no, we got to do it, man. We got to. It's honestly, I don't know what I'll do if we miss out narrowly again, man.
If we don't get Champions League football, mate, then I don't know what I'll do, man. Literally, I don't know what I'll do.
It's not doom and gloom, don't get me wrong, because look how much we improve without European football, by just the players we bought.
I'm just worried about those run of games when we play Chelsea, Man United, and West Ham, because every time when we play those games in a row, we don't seem to win.
It, man.
It's only 2 weeks, man. That's not long.
Yeah, give it a chill, man.
I've just got a feeling that, listen, Tottenham, I think Tottenham have got a few more clangers in their sleeve, man. This is the sort of team that parades the "we beat Manchester City" trophy and then loses to Burnley in the next game.
Are we doing?
They found a bit of consistency in their recent games. It's very good, but
are we doing predictions now?
Right. Before we start the predictions, I have to introduce the newest panelist, Fahim. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. The Brentford game, oh my days. I didn't feel good after that. Rudiger scoring a mad goal. Everyone was so excited, and then
Big up just
I think
me.
the players... Sorry?
No, I was going to big up in the comments.
Oh, okay.
You'd let him finish, man.
We were shit. We moved.
I think, you know what? I think the players got too excited that Rudiger scored his long shots, at least. So, yeah, within 10 minutes later, we conceded 2 goals. And then, it went downhill from there. It reminds me of West Brom. Literally, this time last year.
Thinking.
Yeah, this time last year, we lost to West Brom. It was literally after international break, the last one. So we lost to West Brom on the 3rd of April, and then we lost to Brentford yesterday, 2nd of April. So it's almost like history's writing itself again. And I just hope it's just a blip. For me, I think the players looked exhausted, mentally exhausted. They looked clueless. I don't know why. I think with everything going on, protest maybe it's played a part. I'm not sure. But we've got Madrid on Wednesday. We have to perform against Madrid. If we don't, then I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on, man. I heard that Tuchel's marriage is breaking down after 13 years. You've got the protest with the Ricketts, and I really hope that they don't become your owners. You've also got the injuries that we've mentioned. I think Chilwell and James, in the particular with the system that you play with 5 at the back, they're your biggest contributors when it comes to chance creation, and they were getting goals as well. It's been unfortunate for you. Obviously, as a rival, you benefited from it to a degree, but you look at how well Chelsea were playing. You were bang in the title race before Chilwell got injured, and then I think that's when the wheels started to fall off a bit with inconsistencies. I think this ownership stuff that's happening as well.
A lot of things going against Tuchel, like you said, the marriage, then him dealing with the whole situation with the ownership, the media, the journalists asking him questions that he doesn't know the answer of, and then he has to prepare his team as well. Then injuries, it's just a lot going on for Tuchel, and I feel for him, to be honest. imagine doing what he's doing, trying to make everyone stay control and calm, but it's almost impossible. It's quite difficult. So I don't know. Like you said, our wing backs, Chilwell and James, they've been massive contributors in our attack. And when we missed Ben Chilwell, we literally had to rely on Marcus Alonso, and he is horrible to watch. I'm not going to lie. He is horrible to watch. I can't stand him anymore. Yesterday, oh my days. It's a standard Alonso performance now. Him and Timo Werner on that left-hand side was shocking. Absolute shocking. I don't know how Timo Werner is a professional footballer, man. All he does is run around. Like, he doesn't know how to pass. He doesn't know how to dribble. He can't shoot. We need to move him on as well. Like, we've got a lot of players that we need to move on. Like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, look, he's technically good, but I don't know. His fitness, his defensive awareness is not there. I don't know. He's not a reliable player anymore, in my opinion. We need to get someone else to replace these players, in my opinion. So we'll see. Madrid game will be a huge game for us.
For me, Aston Villa would be a good place for Timo Werner.
I think Ollie Watkins better than Timo Werner anyway. So
no, I think the problem more is like you got to remember Tuchel's only brought in 2 players, so you can't bring in 2 players and then say that a style or a system is your own. Like Werner was very effective in a 2-striker system at Leipzig, where he played with Poulsen. I just think there's a few tweaks that you need to make in midfield. The thing about Tuchel is, right, if you look at all the other teams he's managed before, he's rarely used back 5 systems.
Yeah.
So he's using the system because he's kind of looked at the squad and he's like, well, in order to play like my strongest team, I have to use a system I don't really like using. And that's what he's doing. He's won a Champions League off the back of doing that. So he deserves some credit from that. He needs a bit of patience. I think he is the sort of manager that could get something out of Werner. But I don't think Lukaku is the right partner for him. And I think, you know, whether it's Pulisic or Mount, you know, or you know, Hudson-Odoi, I don't know. He doesn't seem to know. He hasn't got the balance right. So he's, you know what I was saying earlier to you, Stephen, about cracking the eggs and making the omelette? Like, he's still at that iterative phase, like working out what his best system,
in terms of the
what his
league,
best players are.
In terms of the league, you're right on that one. The thing he is good though is when it comes to the cup competitions.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a one-off game.
I expect you to beat Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think Madrid. I think Benzema's back, which is worrying for us because he's without Benzema, Real Madrid can't even score goals. Like we saw that against Barcelona, they struggled without Benzema. So Benzema's back. So I just hope. I don't know.
Beaten them with Benzema on the team.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
but I think.
But it didn't have
I think Benzema can Benzema could turn up anytime. He's a quality striker. Brilliant.
He's so underrated.
Yeah. Exactly. Very underrated. But like I said, I think Tuchel's only been here for 1 year. we haven't made that many signings with him. We haven't really planned a team for him. So
that's the thing. You're challenging for the title and hardly using the 2 players that you brought in. So it's still the same side that Lampard basically had.
Yeah,
you're challenging in a title race at that point. Like, it shows like the level of what a manager like can do, give it like with the tools he has available.
Definitely, yeah. I just think, with Timo Werner, he can work. Like last season, it seemed like he worked in the pressing system. It's just that he couldn't finish his chances. He had plenty of chances, kept on missing them. But that was down to Werner, and I think for me, it's time to move on with Werner. You can tell from his body language now; he doesn't seem to press anymore. Last season, he was up for it. He was up for the press. This season, he seems like he's headless. He's clueless. He doesn't know what to do anymore. I feel like his head is set somewhere else right now. I think he's thinking of a move to Germany or something like that. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind it. We spent a lot of money on him. He's on a lot of money as well. I think around 270k per week. It's a ridiculous amount for me. So yeah, if he goes on, we try and replace with someone else, maybe Broja, someone like him, or Gallagher. I don't know. We've got some of the loan players coming back for next season, which Tuchel will keep an eye on. So it'll be an interesting summer, considering with the ownership and how they're going to spend. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Right, should we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Because I've been up all weekend, to be honest. Not good.
Are we doing predictions?
Yeah.
What game are we starting with?
Whichever one's the first on the schedule. Like the first.
It was. Did you do our game for last week?
Oh no, I do it according to the podcast. So we start with
Palace
the
Arsenal
remaining
game.
fixtures of this week.
Yeah, it's the Palace Arsenal.
Is that the only game left to be
Yes.
played in this week?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I think it's only.
I've got them written down.
Right, but I think it's only fair we let Steve or Chris have the first say.
Right. Chris, Arsenal, Crystal Palace Arsenal. What's your score going to be?
I'm going to go with 1-0 Arsenal. It's going to be 1-0. I think they're going to defend really well. Struggle to break them down, but yeah, I think we'll eventually break them down.
I don't know. Luca's not gone. If Luca's gone, then I'll go for him. So.
You can go next, Steve.
Yeah, I'm just adjusting this. Don't worry. I'm just adjusting. Just adjusting this 2 secs. Right. I'm going to go with, I said 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah. Niall.
Yeah.
Yeah, which game? What's the score prediction?
What game is it?
Palace Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal.
I'm going to say.
I'll go to Fahim first. Come on, Fahim.
Sorry.
I think Arsenal win 3-1.
Pun, what are you going for?
1-1.
Okay. Okay. Burnley versus Everton. When's the game kick-off? Niall.
What game are we on now?
Burnley Everton, I just said it.
No, I heard you.
Well, what's your score prediction?
What, Burnley against who, sorry?
Everton.
Burnley and Everton.
2-1 Burnley.
Uh, 2-1 Burnley, do you say? 2-1 Burnley. Okay. The Pun, what are you going to go for?
Who are Burnley playing?
Everton.
Everton. Oh. 2-1 Burnley. Everton are just I think that they're a lost cause.
Okay. Fahim, what you gonna go for?
I'll go for. Oh, what's this? Sorry. 1-0 Burnley.
Playing one of my shows. Yeah. Would you say 1-0 Burnley?
Yeah, 1-0 Burnley.
1-0 Burnley.
Look at this comment. I don't know.
Chris, yeah.
What are you going for, man?
Burnley versus Everton. I think Burnley are going to win that game as well. 2-0.
I'm going 1-0 Burnley is same as for him.
Let's check the private chat.
Newcastle versus Wolves. I'm going to start with Nippon.
Newcastle versus Wolves.
Yeah.
Should I go interesting or should I go with logic? That's the question.
Whatever you want.
Is the game at home? Is the game?
It's how I said. It's how I said it. It's at St James's Park.
Okay, St James's Park. 2-1 Newcastle. I think they're going to bounce back.
Fahim, what are you going for?
I'll go for a draw. 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Niall.
I think it's going to be 1-1.
Chris.
Which game is this? Everton? No, not Everton. Wolves and Newcastle, yeah?
Newcastle versus Wolves.
I
want to go with 1-0 to Wolves in this one.
Oh, so you don't think it's a blip? You think it's their form's dying?
I think Wolves are really good defensively, man. They're very difficult to play. And I just don't think that Chris Wood's the cutting edge. Like, he plays into the strengths of Cody, Kilman.
Okay.
Yeah, he plays into the strengths of the centre backs. They're good in there and strong. So,
what was that score again, Chris?
1-0. 1-0 to Wolves.
1-0 to Wolves. I'm gonna say 2-1 Wolves. Everton versus Manchester United at the Goodison Park. I'll start with Niall on this one.
1-0 Man United.
Just 1-0.
Yeah, because Everton are shut, that's why. And Man United don't know any better. I think it'll be 1 goal, I got.
Fahim.
1-0. Sorry, mate.
I'll go for 2-0 United.
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
Nippon.
2-1 United. I actually think Everton will score first, though.
Chris, you there?
He'll
I'll
be
get
back.
in a minute. I'm gonna go with. Call me mad. I'm gonna go for 1-1.
Interesting.
But just in form. Watford versus Leeds. Watford versus Leeds at. Oh, Chris, can I get you Everton Manchester United score?
Surely United have got to win that game. Surely Everton are in absolute freefall. I'm going to go with 2-0 United. I mean, if they lose that game or draw it, even a draw.
That will be just United in a nutshell if they do that.
That'll be it. That will be it.
No.
Season over.
Well, that's what the modern United do. Watford versus Leeds at Pride. I think it's Pride Park, isn't it? Let's start with Niall.
2-1 Leeds.
Chris.
Sorry, which game was this? Leeds and
Watford Leeds.
Watford will win that game 3-0. 3-1, actually.
Watford. Right. Fahim.
I'll go 3-2 Leeds.
Nippon.
2-1 Leeds.
I'm gonna go for 2-0 Watford.
Do you think this is the skin for Leeds United?
Yep. Southampton versus Chelsea at St Mary's Stadium. Nippon.
Mary's. Right, it's at the Dell. Yeah, St Mary's, sorry.
Yeah, the Dell went ages ago.
We're gonna play terrible. I can see it. But I somehow see a scrappy 1-0 Chelsea win.
Fahim.
Yeah, I agree with Nippon. Yeah, 1-0 Chelsea.
Chris.
Southampton, they're not going to be able to play Broha, are they?
No.
I think 2-0 Chelsea in that game. I think they're going to come back. They're going to unleash wrath. When is the game played, though? Next Saturday?
Next week, yeah. Next weekend.
Yeah.
Niall.
2-1 Southampton.
Okay.
That
probably wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, same.
Exactly. You get beat 4-1 off the Brentford, mate.
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Chelsea don't have the mentality to do that twice. Right. Arsenal versus Brighton. I'm going to start with Chris if he's there. No, okay. We'll come back to him. Niall, Arsenal, Brighton at the Emirates.
3-0 Arsenal.
Jesus. You get that one from?
Because Brighton are like draw FC these days.
That makes no sense. How would you be draw FC and then just get them to lose 3-0?
Because I think Brighton will get absolutely battered off Arsenal.
I beg to differ, to be honest. Nippon.
2-2. I'm going for it.
Fahim. Fahim? He's frozen. You there?
Yeah, I'll go for 2-2 as well.
2-2. Chris.
What game's this?
Arsenal Brighton, mate. At the Emirates.
3-0 Arsenal. Yeah.
Someone's gone for
More confident in our home form, man.
I'm going to say 2-0. Arsenal. Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur at Villa Park. Niall.
3-1 Tottenham.
Fahim.
2-1 Villa.
See, against the Spurs, love that. Chris.
I'm going to go with 1-1 in that game. Actually, no, 2-2. 2-2.
Nippon.
I'm going for a 2-1 Tottenham win.
I'm saying Villa 2-0. Right. Leicester City versus Crystal Palace at the King Power. Chris, I'll start with you.
Leicester against
Crystal Palace.
I think Palace can win that. 2-1.
2-1 Palace. Niall.
Right, Crystal Palace, Leicester,
Yeah.
2-0 Crystal Palace.
Nippon.
I'm going to go for a different one. So many of you ask. I'm going 1-0. I'm going 1-0 Leicester.
Okay.
Chris from Leicester till No, the other Chris, the Leicester fan.
Fahim.
2-1 Palace.
I'm going to go with 1-1.
1-0.
No, actually, no. 3-1. 3-1 Palace.
Wow, you honestly think that?
They're that good, man. Right? Norwich City versus Burnley at Carrow Road. Niall.
Who's Norwich playing?
Burnley.
Burnley, yeah. 2-1 Burnley. Norwich are going down.
So
Burnley at this rate.
Chris.
Hmm?
Norwich and Burnley.
Burnley will win that 2-0. 2-0, I think.
Fahim.
Yeah, Burnley winning 1-0, I think. Yeah.
Nippon.
Both teams are going down. Both teams are going down. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
I'm not even doing that. It's going to be a dead 0-0 draw. It's going to be absolutely nothing about that game.
Yeah.
It's Brentford versus West Ham. At Brentford Community Stadium. So, Niall, I'll start again with you. Brentford versus West Ham.
2-0 West Ham.
2-0 West Ham.
Yeah.
Okay. Fahim.
I'll go for 1-1.
Nippon.
2-1 Brentford.
Chris.
Brentford and who, sorry?
West Ham United.
Oh, 3-1 West Ham.
3-1.
Yeah.
I thought you said 4-1, Chris. You still trying to wipe?
No. Just the three for West Ham. I think West Ham.
I can see 2-1 Brentford because of the fact that West Ham are in Europe this week. So they might be actually knackered afterwards. So I'll go 2-1 Brentford. Manchester City versus Liverpool. The title decider, pretty much. Fahim, I'll start with you.
Oh, it's a tough one.
Who's going to basically win the league?
Yeah, I think it could be a draw. I think both teams will stay quite defensive, maybe for this game.
Chicken out.
No, I think it's going to be. I think that's going to be the case. Well, it's at the Etihad, right? So
it's at the Etihad, yes.
Okay, if it's at the Etihad, then okay, 2-1 City.
Oh, he's going for it.
2-1 City. I think City will win the league anyway. So
Nippon.
I'm going for a draw.
What? 0-0? 1-0? 1-1?
3-3.
Wow.
Won't be a draw. Someone will win.
Chris.
I think Liverpool are going to beat City at the Etihad.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 2-1. I think I don't know. They've won like their last 10 or 11 games in the league.
Yeah.
Stupid like that. It's currently like losing at the moment.
Niall.
I think it'll be a high scoring game. Both teams going for it. I think it'll be end to end. So on that note, I'm going to go for 3-2 to Liverpool.
So you think City will bottle the league?
Yep, I do. I think their lack of a cutting-edge striker is going to cost them.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking 2-0 Liverpool.
Okay.
Just relax a little, man. Let's just enjoy it, man. Like this is how it happens, man. We get ahead of ourselves, man.
Yeah. That's the one thing. This is the one thing I don't like is then we go off saying with this, with that, all the other woman. We're not. We're still gradually progressing. So
baby steps, man. Baby steps.
That's the only thing I keep asking out of the fan. The only thing I demand out of the fan base is just keep it leveled. Like, don't go off on a tangent because he's managed to get us in this position. Yes, it's great. He's got us in this position, but doesn't mean we go absolutely bonkers about it, right? Because it's still a very long journey to where we actually want to be, because we all want to be at the top. So, right, Champions League. Benfica versus Liverpool at Benfica Stadium. Niall, I'll start with you.
Honestly, it's honest.
Are you joking?
Best manager in the league. Oh god, okay.
Are you
Losing another game? Okay.
the best manager in the league? The best manager in the league.
This is why some Arsenal fans are like this for some reason. I don't know why.
Why are you Arteta out, honestly?
Because he knocked us out of Europe for a start. So that's a great manager of the league, isn't it?
I'm
Go
not
on.
answering that, by the way.
I'm putting you on full stream now, Stephen.
He knocked us out of Europe, right? Which made me turn Arteta out because I did back him on these people who just did back him for the start, right? And I'm quick to realise that he's not the best in the league. He's still got to earn his coaching badges, right? And I personally feel, right, and I keep saying it, I'll say it until he puts us where we're supposed to be, which is back challenging for the league, right? I'm not gonna change my stance on it because that's my expectations. If your expectations, right, are to be fourth and then just go around saying he's the best manager in the league, because what, we got fourth? Well done, mate. Right? Did you shout that about Wenger when he was there? Because I got rid of Wenger to go and win the league. I didn't get rid of Wenger just to get another manager to end up fourth again.
Not only that, he got 2 back-to-back 8, lowered the standards. So I think a lot of Arsenal fans lowered their standards and thinking Arteta have progressed you, but no, but you were always a 4th place team with Wenger and Unai Emery.
I've got to counter that, man. Sorry, man.
Can I just make a point? Sorry, Chris, I'll just quickly say, right, I hear what you said because you're level-headed and reasonable about it, right? And I don't want to demand high standards. I do see us, we have improved. Hence why if we get top 4, I'll bite my tongue and let him carry on, right? But this is the problem with some of this fan base. Because we get off on a bunch of wins, right? They knock one out and then all of a sudden we're the best team in the fucking league. Raise your standards before saying things like that. Honestly. Winds me up. Sorry, go on, Chris. You destroy him if you want.
So yeah, look, at the end of the day, I'm an Arsenal fan that's seen us win 26 trophies. Yeah. Now, Spurs, in their entire history, have also won 26 trophies. I lived through the best of 2 eras. So I was my first experience of being an Arsenal fan was George Graham's era. Just as it was nearing an end. Won the League Cup in 86, 89, the league title win that happened at Anfield with literally the last kick of the game. I saw us do the double where we won the league at Old Trafford and won the FA Cup. I saw us do the Invincible season where we won the league at White Hart Lane. All of the other trophies I saw in 1994, we won the Cup Winners' Cup. We beat Parma in Copenhagen. So our last European bit of silverware. I've seen Tony Adams. I've seen
you mentioned 98.
I've seen Dixon. I've seen Seaman. I've seen Lenman. I've seen Henry. I've seen Bergkamp. I've seen we're not just talking about the best of my lifetime, probably the best ever era of Arsenal in terms of its success. Yeah. So what I really despise, right, is when people are like, "Oh, you're celebrating fourth, your standards are on the floor." It's a really base narrative for me. Because for me, the reality is, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. What are the best teams have? They have world-class players. What happened with Vlahovic and Locatelli when we went in for them? Did they want to come to us? No, they didn't. Why didn't they want to come to us? Because we're not a team that's competing in the Champions League. So if we want to aspire to win a league title, to win a Champions League, to have players like Kane, to have players like Rudiger, Thiago Silva, to have managers like Tuchel, we need to start somewhere. And the journey starts with getting European football back. First of all, we lost European football, yeah? Even at least having Europa League gave you some degree of pull. But Champions League football has allowed Man United to get Sancho, to get Varane. It's allowed Liverpool to get Konate from Leipzig. It's allowed them to get Diaz from Porto. It allows you to get the best players in the world, which ultimately are going to help you challenge, not just in the next season, but for the longer term. So I like, what are we supposed to do? We finished 8th 2 seasons in a row. We're not supposed to be happy about being in the Champions League again for the first time in 6 years. That's a myth. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's an absolute myth. I miss hearing that music. And when I was a kid, we qualified for the Champions League 19 years in a row. Yeah, only Real Madrid have a longer consecutive record of qualifying for the Champions League. Right? So I just got so used to us being in it, I never went to any games. Because my dad didn't take me to games either, right? But like, more to the point, we will not challenge the dominance of City or Liverpool without Champions League football. It won't happen. It won't happen. Like, they'll be going in for the players that we want.
Oh my God.
They'll be going in for the players that we want. And when we offered Vlahovic more money. We offered Locatelli more money. They went to Juventus. Why? Because Juventus is a guaranteed certain of Champions League football, and they didn't want to leave Italy either. Right? So what you need to understand about progress, right? Like, Klopp obviously won the Champions League in his first season, so everyone thinks, oh, well, that should be the standard now. Klopp walked into a squad that was already world-class. I'm sure you two Chelsea fans would agree. You had a world-class squad the minute Tuchel walked through the door. Would you agree, as Chelsea fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a few world-class players, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, a few, but like a few world-class squads. It's not like every player's world-class. Real Madrid,
Yeah.
got world-class.
I understand.
They've got like 3, 4, 5 world-class players. Yeah, so
I think
for us,
Go on.
For us, right, the journey has to start. We don't have any world-class players at the moment, right?
No.
And the last player that I can really feel that we went in to buy, that we got, that was at the time world-class, was probably Aubameyang. Yeah. So if you want to raise the standards, I want to see us win league titles. I want to see us win the Champions League. And I've seen it.
Can
I ask you something? Do you think Arteta is the guy to, I don't know, to lead you a title potentially in the next few years?
I personally
think
if
you leave this guy,
I don't think he will.
If you leave this guy, this guy is challenging for top 4, and he's only rebuilt our defense. That's the only part that you can say is his own. The only part. He's not signed any striker, so he's playing with the striker that he inherited. He's bought Partey, he's bought Sambi, he's bought Odegaard, and he's bought William. William didn't work, so effectively he's bought 3 midfielders. Only one of them is an attacking midfielder. Okay, he was lucky to inherit Martinelli, Saka, and Niassar, so he doesn't need a great deal of attacking midfielders. But if he hadn't have had those guys in the ranks, you can't really say the squad is his own. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be judging managers off of squads that aren't their own. But if we're to judge him off of where he's got us, with a squad where he can say the defense is his own, we got no place being in a top 4 race.
Chris, I do.
No place. No way can anyone tell me that this is the 4th best Premier League squad in the Premier League at the moment.
No,
it's not.
I'm not denying.
Leicester got a better squad. Tottenham got a better squad. United got a better squad. Chelsea got a better squad. Liverpool and City have got a better squad. There you go. There's 6 teams that I've named that have got better squads than us.
Chris,
Yeah, here we are above 4 of those teams, 3 or 4 of those teams.
Look,
you got to credit that. You know, like, and
yeah.
The thing about improvements in this day and age, you can't just go to the market and buy 3 or 4 50-60 million pound players. It doesn't work. Yeah.
Hold on.
The journey
is so crap. How did he manage
believe me? In a row.
Wait. Whoa. Let me finish. Right. The journey is incremental, right? To improvement and progress. Like, the most successful teams in the world at the moment are successful because they were subject to long-term planning. Not a manager coming in, winning a trophy quick, and then just ducking out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at Chelsea, yeah, they've been successful. But if you look at, like, relative to, like, Man United, Liverpool, and Arsenal, where they had, like, whole decades of success, yeah, like, it's been stop-start because managers have come and gone. Do you know what I mean? And that's working, but it's like it works in the short term until it breaks, and then you bring a next guy in, and then it works until it breaks again. Like, there's no longevity or sustainability in that form of planning. There just isn't. Like, you guys might think it is because you've won a lot of trophies. I promise you, yeah, Pep being there for 7 or 8 years, that's why no one can topple him. The same with Klopp now, yeah, because the same manager stays, the same ideas, the same ethos. Yeah, he's bringing in the players that fit. Yeah, he's making 1 or 2 mistakes here or there, but eventually, what you get is, like, a better understanding from that manager and a better understanding from the players that play from that manager because they've worked with him for a long time. You get what I mean?
I just want to make one more point with this guy before we move on to the rest of these predictions as well.
Yeah, let me say this. We have
hang on. Emery, right, got us 5th and the European final with a squad that in the next season was apparently a complete crap, right? And also, he's won 3 Europa League. You're counting the fact that this guy's counting the fact that we've won an FA Cup and Community Shield. A Community Shield that one time was shared with our own blimmin' arch rivals, and you're counting that as a trophy. Get real, for God's sake. It's a charity game, right?
I disagree with that as well.
I'm not with that. Like, for me,
how do you get into a charity shield?
Yeah, you win the league, or you either win the league or the FA Cup or come second.
Okay, yeah, no, you can't come second.
Yeah, if you come second, but the teams won the double.
If you win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup.
Right, yeah.
Man City
what happens is if Man City win, say if Arsenal win the double, like we did in 2002, the team that came second played us in the charity shield the next season.
So you have to either be a high placed team, win the league, or win the
FA Cup. Yeah.
So this glorified final talk, yeah. If I was to say to a Chelsea fan that the Club World Cup is just a glorified final, just because it's not. You have to win a major competition.
Anyway, I just want to make a point as well. With also Emery, he also didn't get probably the finance and the players he wanted, right? For Pepe and Zaha saga, for example, right? But the main thing is you're calling Saka world class, Odegaard world class, Smith world class. If that's the case, Real Madrid would never let him go, right?
I didn't say
that, but no, I'm not saying you. I'm saying this guy in the chat, right? Oh. Saka and Martinelli have never played in the Champions League or Smith Rowe, right? If you've never played at the top level of club football, how can you judge them as world class yet? You can't. For me, right?
Do you think
they are top quality?
Do you
they're
think
top quality and they've got a very good future ahead of them?
so?
Because don't forget, they're still young players. But like,
Do you not think Grealish was world class before he went to Man City?
I think he's top class. World class gets used a lot. You have to, for me, world class, you have to be the very, very best in your position.
He was the
For
top
me.
chance creator in Europe's 5 top leagues. Like one of them, I think, last season, and that was with his injury. He was, yeah. I think I get what you're trying to say. Like, yeah, obviously, like I definitely think that you can find examples of players.
I'm not saying Saka and all those players will not be able to do it in the Champions League. I think they will, right? But calm your skin. Right, Mount is overrated. Mount won the bloody Champions League, for fuck's sake. Right, Grealish kept Aston Villa from survival. Right, can't just tone it down. Yes, we're doing well, but just come out with stuff like that just makes it look. I mean, one guy, for example, you mentioned the double in '98, right? This guy came on a stream, live on stream, and said if Arteta had the '98 side, he'd win the Champions League.
What the? Nah,
Yes,
I'm done.
and you're saying, no, and you're saying that when the guy who was, you're saying that when the guy who was in manager of that club was supposed to be probably one of the greatest or the greatest Arsenal manager that's ever lived, which I don't personally agree with. I think it's probably Herbert Chapman, to be honest, for me. But like Arsene Wenger couldn't do it with the 04 side, right? And you're telling me that Arteta would have been able to do it with the 98 side? Come on.
As I said though, man, Arteta is a guy. As I said, I run for his footballing education, bro. Do you know what I mean? Cruyff, Van Gaal, Rijkaard, Bobby Robson.
Yeah, if it goes through all that and proves me
David
wrong,
Moyes, he was at PSG for a bit. I can't remember who was manager there, but Pep Guardiola when he was at Rangers. He's worked with good managers, man. He is a good manager. He's on the come up. Like what you need to understand about football, yeah. Football. Look at Jose Mourinho, yeah. Jose Mourinho 10 years ago was one of the world's best managers. Is he now? No. Why? Because he doesn't adapt. He does not adapt. He is not evolved. He is not.
That's what
he has not molded his style, and he's not. His man management style is stuck.
You got figured out.
Right? Like, hang on, let me finish, please. Yeah, like
sorry.
His man management style is in the dark ages. Like his like he got found out at Chelsea in the second stint. He got found out at United. Got found out at Tottenham. Yes, he had a short-term measure of success with Chelsea and United, right? But ultimately, right, what you're seeing now is football is changing. Like with high press systems, with the intensity that's played at, with the fitness, with the coaching, the training methods, all of these things. Arteta is a modern manager, mate. That's what you need to understand about him. Like, he's a modern manager that, yes, shouldn't have been given his chance at Arsenal, but looking at where he is now, considering 2 years ago he was putting out cones for Pep to be managing the third biggest club in England, right, and steering it out of a serious foxhole, right? Like, you've got to give it time. Like, if this is what he's doing now, what's he going to be doing in 2 years' time? Saka's going to be 22. ESR's going to be 23. Martinelli's going to be 22. Odegaard's going to be 25. Ben White is going to be 26. Gabriel's going to be 26. Tierney is going to be 26. Ramsdale's going to be 25. Yeah. Tomiyasu's going to be 24. And guess what? They're going to have 2 years of Premier League experience underneath their belt. Assuming we get back into Europe, they're going to have 2 years of experience on the European stage as well. Now, assuming that we buy more players, which we are going to in that time, they're going to have more quality around them. Yeah, they're going to have much better players that are training with them. that Arteta is going to be able to pick and select from. If he can get this out of Lacazette, and I'm going to remind you, 10 goal involvements in his last 12 games. Yeah. We have literally got the form guide. Yeah. In our last 12 matches, we literally are looking at the best form. We have better form than Chelsea in those 12 games. We have better form than Liverpool in those 12 games. Not Liverpool, City. Like, it's literally like you're looking at the most informed team with the least experienced squad. Like, you've got to delve a little deeper, buddy. Like, because what this guy is doing is nothing short of a miracle. It actually is. Like, yeah, okay, we're only playing one game a week, and the teams that we're competing against have been bad. I understand all those things. But a few years ago, we would have lost that game against Wolves. We went 1-0 down against Wolves at home. Wolves hadn't lost a game that they went 1-0 up in since 2018. We found a way to win. We're getting mentally stronger, bro. Yeah, like when we went down in that game, we found a way to win. When we were 2-1 down against Palace, we found a way to get a point. When Brighton had 20 shots on our goal, yeah, we found a way to hold on. Yeah, when we went 10 men down at Anfield, we found a way to hold on. Mentally, for a bunch of kids, yeah, I'm seeing the mental resolve that I've not seen in this team for a long time. Is it the finished article? Absolutely not.
I've said that.
Absolutely not.
I've said that this season, and I've never, and whenever he's got credit, or he needs credit, I've given him credit for results that we've got where we didn't think I'll get them. Right? I'm not saying this. I'm not being one of these fans where I'm completely denying, right, anything that we've done so far. Never. But it's like when you're coming out, when you like, and I'm gonna say this for this guy, I'm like, honestly, we should be challenging for the title this season. Arteta will be our greatest.
No,
manager.
he's a troll. He's definitely
no. Yeah, he must be a troll because, mate, if you actually are an Arsenal fan, right, go and look up Herbert Chapman first, because without him, none of us would know Arsenal Football Club. No Arsenal Football Club.
What, Herbert Chapman? Well, yeah, but I would say Arsene Wenger cleared his legacy, bro.
For me, with Wenger, him staying too long sort of crippled that for me.
Come on, bro. The success he was unparalleled.
No.
I might have put a slight
I'm not denying the success. But, like, some of the he should have gone after at least 2014.
Yeah.
After we won the FA Cup.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so stayed a bit too long
for me.
I think, like, people say that, yeah, we don't have standards. It's like, like, Klopp was already world class when he came to Liverpool. No one wins titles if they're not managing Bayern Munich in Germany. This guy did it twice in a row. And in the second season, he did the domestic double. His team that he built with Mislintat, yeah, had no world-class players in it. Everyone was like, they're saying the same thing at Dortmund. You hired this guy from Mainz. All right, he got Mainz promoted, but is he ready to manage a big club like Dortmund? He was bringing in people like Lewandowski cost 2 million. He was bringing in, you know, all of these really unpolished, unrefined, you know, Lewandowski would not be the player he is today if it wasn't for Jurgen Klopp. And that is a fact. Yeah. And what you're seeing with Arteta, I'm not saying he's as good as Klopp, right? But Arteta has improved Saka.
I'm not saying he hasn't.
Arteta has improved Martinelli. And Arteta has improved pretty much a majority of the young players that we've got. I look at Saka, that guy might have missed the mark by saying that Saka's world class. This guy, if he keeps playing like this in 2 seasons, he will be. He will be. You know, ESR Martinelli, you can say this. I've had Liverpool fans saying to me, he will be world class. I had Liverpool fans coming up to me being like, I have never seen Trent I've never seen Trent tied in knots like when Martinelli did it to him twice in 2 games. Tied him in knots. Tied him in knots.
The only thing
the best right back in the world. He put a 20-year-old kid up against the best right back in the world, and that right back has got nightmares of facing Martinelli again. Absolute nightmares. The look of fear on his face every time Martinelli picked up the ball. Arteta did that, bro. Be proud of it. Be proud of Arteta, bro.
Can I ask one thing?
This manager is on the come up, bro.
Well, let's say next season, let's say you get Champions League. Do you think you can go far in Champions League? Like, because the squad, the depth of your squad is not the greatest at all.
No, the thing is, I've said it. For me, it's not really about winning. Let me just answer that question quickly. Yeah, it's not about winning the Champions League next season.
Right? No, I'm saying that can you go far? How far can you go in the Champions League? I would want to
get to the quarters, maybe the semi-finals. The main thing that we need to do next season is, again, maintain the top 4 position, maybe win a domestic trophy, yeah, and get to another summer window where, again, we can make more additions of a world-class caliber. And then the season after that, the 23, the 24 season, that's when I want to see us push for a title. I think if we can maintain Champions League football for this season and next season, no doubt, yeah, if we keep improving in the way that we are, and if we keep buying players that are having the sort of impact that the 6 players that we just bought have had, the world is in trouble, my friend.
That's it.
So that's 2 years. Yeah, I'm not being unrealistic here. 2 more years based on the 2 years Arteta already had. And bear in mind, the first 2 years, the whole market was impacted by COVID. So that's why his spending got limited. That's what people need to understand as well. If that hadn't have happened, I think he would have been given more money to spend quickly. We recorded like £100 million loss in 2 consecutive seasons. So you couldn't just go and give him the money like we could have. You notice now that the fans are back in the stadium, he got given the money to spend. Yeah. So sometimes you got to think like of the other context. Yeah. The Arteta's had to work with. Yeah. No one expected COVID to come. Yeah. And that dramatically impacted how much we could spend. The moment people get back into stadiums, there's your 150 million. See what you can do with it. And the guy has done good things with it. He's done good things with it, bro. So why halt progress? Yeah, like there might be better managers out there, but right now, this guy we are in a forward momentum. Like we have improved from last season. We're conceding less goals, we're scoring more goals, we're winning more games, we're losing less games. Yeah, but we've gone from competing to be in the Europa League to having a chance of being in the Champions League. And if we get in the Champions League, if those are the kind of level of players that he bought with no European football, imagine what sort of players they're going to bring in with Champions League football and how he's going to be able to integrate them into the squad. I just think Arteta has bought patience, man. He won a trophy in his first 6 months. People are like, oh yeah, you only had to win 3 games. Fair enough. But he had to beat Chelsea. He had to beat Man City. He did that. He did that, bro.
Oh, I was supporting him, trust me.
You know, like, this is, like, he needs time, bro. He needs time.
Right, shall we get on with our predictions?
Like I said, all I want him to do is just prove me wrong. Right?
Yeah.
But what I'm asking fans like this is just to level yourself, right? Yes, enjoy the fact we've been improving, but coming out with statements like that, it's just...
Holy shit.
Honestly, man.
This guy is on... Oh, my God.
No, I'm with him on that. Not straight away. I do believe he could be the person to help us win everything.
We shouldn't be challenging for the title this season. What are you on about?
No.
Nice.
Yeah, he's just don't worry about him.
It's way too early for that talk. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, he's here to just talk shit.
Yeah, the grind is real, man. Mr. B for life.
There's so many
Yeah, so yeah,
Right, predictions. Benfica versus Liverpool. At Benfica.
okay. The Benfica fans will make a atmosphere, which will probably. Sorry for keeping you guys this long, by the way.
That's all right.
So yeah, which will probably keep them in the game, but I think Liverpool's quality will eventually show. I'm saying Benfica nil.
Liverpool 1. Right.
Yeah.
Fahim.
Is that Anfield, right?
Yeah.
The first leg's at Benfica.
It's at Benfica.
Oh, is that Benfica? I'll go for 2-0 Liverpool. Yeah, I think Liverpool will win that game.
Eastside Views has been watching too much. He's been playing too much FIFA.
I think it's going to be tough, you know. Like Benfica, they got a striker that I want us to get, Darwin Núñez, man. The last I checked, he had 20 league goals in 22 games, like 5 Champions League goals in like 7 games. He scored the winner against Ajax in their last game. They need to watch him, man. He's dangerous, and I really hope we get him in the summer. But I think Liverpool are going to be 2-1, man. Yeah, he gives me Edison Cavani vibes, man. He's like a young Edison.
2-1 Liverpool. 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 to Liverpool, yeah.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool.
Quick question for all of you. What are your thoughts on Harry Maguire being booed by England fans?
I'm not surprised the way he's been playing. Southgate said Southgate said in his first press conference, I'll pick players on their form, not by their name. So if that's the case, then why is Maguire getting in the team? Why?
Look, but if you think of it, he actually plays well when he puts on an England shirt.
Yeah, but that's all well and good. But if you're saying in one press conference you're picking players on their form in the league, then why is he being mentioned? And why is Shaw being mentioned as well?
I still don't see the benefit from booing the player. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just he's playing for his country, and you want your country to do well. So
I think it was the only way. Like they felt it was the only way they could.
No, but I think the problem I had was they booed when they called out his name, not when he was playing. Well, no, actually, no. I think they booed him whilst he was playing, but he was playing all right. But it was just at the start, before the game even started, the England fans were booing. I mean, they have a right to boo. I mean, they paid money to watch the game, so they want to see the best England team. But it is what it is. I feel like the reaction straight away, the game, I think it was a bit too much. Like the statements and this and that.
Manchester City versus Atletico Madrid at Etihad. I'm going to start with Fahim.
Oh, it's a tough one. I'll go for 1-1. I think I'll go for 1-1. Yeah.
Chris.
What game was this?
Manchester City versus Atletico Madrid at Etihad.
Well, Manchester City will win that. 3-0.
Yeah.
3-0, yeah.
I don't call Atletico Madrid the Spanish Burnley for no reason.
Spanish Gucci Burnley.
Yeah.
What?
We've got good players, but they just play like Burnley.
Yeah, but
I love them. I love both Madrid clubs. I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate the strong word, but I strongly dislike them. I strongly dislike both Madrid clubs.
Yeah, neither do I, to be fair. But if I had to say which one do you dislike less, I'd say Atletico. Honestly.
Oh yeah, by default. But
Nippon.
I don't like the way they play though. It's awful.
Look. I'm going 1-1, but and this is a slight preview for when we do the second leg predictions.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is the tie will be decided at the Etihad.
Well, it's at the Etihad.
No, it's wait. Is the first leg at the Etihad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first leg's at the Etihad. I said that.
Yeah, I'll stick to 1-1. I'll stick to 1-1.
Oh, okay. I'm going to change my prediction because I thought it was at the Wanda. I'm going 3-1 Man City.
3-1.
Because I thought if it was at the Wanda, I thought it would be like the crowd can urge them on their fans.
I'm going to go 2-1 Man City.
Do you agree? Do any of you agree with this comment?
Yeah. He doesn't suit Man United. Man United, no, I don't know.
Gareth
think he suits.
Gareth knows how to use him.
You know, a lot of people.
International football a bit more because it's a bit slower, isn't it? Like the style, like
And he gets
get a
more
bit more
cover.
time on the ball, like a bit more time to make decisions off the ball.
He also gets more cover as well.
Yeah, because he plays on a free usually.
Chelsea, Real Madrid. At Stamford Bridge. I'm going to start with Nippon.
Chelsea versus Real Madrid. You know what? I'm going for a cheeky 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1.
Yeah, a cheeky 2-1. I'm going to be I'm going to see if I can get Melina on this channel to do a preview with me either today, later today, or tomorrow.
Fahim.
I'll go for 1-0 Chelsea.
There's another one you can chase, Relentless. Chris.
I'm going to go with 3-1 Chelsea. You know.
What? That much?
Yep. I don't know, man. I just think, yeah, I think you're going to react strongly, and I think I don't know. I just think, yeah, you've rested Kovacic, Jorginho.
Reece James is back.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is you know that this is sorry, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, I think those guys coming back is going to be massively. Like and Pulisic as well. We think he rested Pulisic as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
man. So you got your players nice and fresh. Those guys will play. He'll probably go with Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho. And yeah, I just think Real Madrid will struggle to cope in the centre of the park.
Villarreal versus Bayern Munich. I'm going to start with Chris.
4-1 Bayern Munich.
Fahim.
I'll go for 2-0 Bayern Munich.
Nippon.
2-1 Bayern Munich.
That's what he's from my channel, by the way.
Yeah. I reckon it's that.
The rest of the army lot, yeah.
3-0 Bayern Munich.
Can't believe Bayern Munich got one of the
That's
easy.
it. Done. Done. That's it. I'm done.
Aren't you getting Man City? Well, it was just a 1-0, but let's be real. You could have 2, 3, or 4-0.
No.
Oh.
Right.
4-1 Bayern. Mr. B for life is.
Right.
Yeah, we're wrapping up after the.
We've done the predictions.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, that concludes the podcast for tonight. Thanks for. I'd like to say thank you all for coming on.
No
No
problem.
worries.
So yeah, before we wrap up, where can they find you?
Me? Yeah, so I'm Gunner King 14 on TikTok, on Twitter. I do a lot of TikTok content. About following of just coming up to 18k there. Our Arsenal dedicated channel is the Armory TV. It's nice to know. Yeah, the Armory TV is the YouTube channel that I feature on. Watch this space. We got big things coming, and I think I'm looking to start Twitch streaming soon as well on my own. So yeah, there'll be more content coming as well in the future.
Nice. And Steve, where can they find you?
You can find us on SVP TV doing Arsenal and football related content. And every stream we do raises money for Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So if you can hit the like, share, subscribe, and also if you could join the membership so you can donate a small sum every month with great perks and the rest of it. I also have an F1 channel as well, S-Feetly F1, where it's pretty much the best place you can find for all to follow Formula One. So, but thanks for having us on.
I think Mr. B for Life is trying to wind you and Chris up there, Stephen.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all right.
Anyway, so Fahim, where can they find you?
Yeah, CFC Fahim, as you can see on the title name, on Twitter, on YouTube. So yeah, that's it.
And you can find me in all those socials going through the ticker below. And yeah, with that being said, this has been episode 12 of the Football for Thought podcast. Big up to all of you in the panel. Big up to everyone in the chat. I see all of you there. And yeah, with that being said, you have all been a wonderful audience and sports team. See you in the next video.
Big up.
Nice one, guys.
See you.